fun.
The dead caroling?
The dead caroling was a good time.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network, our first episode of 2021. It is January 5th. Tell the folks the question of the day. We got the KFC Radio.
I was going to correct you. I forgot about the conversation we just had. I was like, actually, it's January 4th, Kevin.
4th as we record it, 5th as you listen. We got the KFC Radio Tearaway Calendar, which has funny quotes, ATI questions, moments from the podcast from the last year. So January 5th.
Question of the day. Would you rather randomly stub your toe, get a brain freeze, or bite your cheek 3 times a day? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, this one.
I just recently bit my cheek.
That's off the table. That's number 1 off the table. Can't do it.
I mean, the problem is that is the injury that keeps giving. It's because it swells up and then your teeth continue to hit it, and it's like
when you have either an injury with your mouth or your back, it ruins your
whole life.
Stubbing your toe is brain freeze lasts 2 seconds. I'll take either one.
So wait, brain freeze is the best.
I think stubbing your toe.
Well,
because stubbing your toe isn't fucking breaking your toe.
No. See, brain freeze, you can have a bad brain freeze, but brain freeze, the range of brain freeze is like
it's
this.
A very fine.
The range of stubbing your toe is huge.
Yeah.
You stub an individual toe really bad, and you're talking like bruising and losing a toenail and shit.
Never had that happen. Not interested.
If you hit like 3, if 3 of your toes share the brunt of a stub, it hurts for a second. But if you like single out a pinky and really, like, you got some momentum and you, like, clip a fucking...
I feel like that's a big dad injury.
Huge! It's...
I don't know when the last time I stubbed my toe was. I don't know what...
It's a dad and having a shitty apartment thing. Like, if you don't have a lot of space, there's just, like, shit and furniture in the way. Like, I have, like, I gotta, like, walk through, like, corridors, basically. I don't have a lot of space. So, it logically makes sense that when you become a dad... You step on fucking Legos and shit because, like, now all of a sudden you have all those things in your apartment. What doesn't make sense is how little it happens to mothers. It's like these things, these toys, and this shit gravitates towards the feet of men. And when it happens, you want to take your children and drive them to the nearest bridge and throw them off.
I think
it's like, this happened because of you.
If I had to guess, it's because the mothers
cleans up,
spend the time bending down, picking them up.
Mother's backs hurt, dad's feet hurt. Yeah, but it's crazy how much I step on. Just like it's just fucking goddamn monster trucks and stupid shit all over the place.
I feel like you also kick tables a lot. I have no evidence to support this, but
absolutely,
you just look like a guy who kicks tables.
I kicked the shit out of like my bedpost, like a bed foot the other day. I mean, I destroyed it. And that there's that half a second where the pain is traveling to your brain, up your foot, up your toe, into your brain to tell you like your foot is fucked. God bless you. And in that split second, you're just like, it's coming. It's going to suck so much. And then when it hits, it's like, yep, this sucks. And I feel like in that moment, if I could chop off my feet, just get rid of my toes, I would.
that would do a lot to cure the pain, I imagine.
Just get rid of them.
Just saw yourself. You're like, all right, we're
chop them off.
Take the foot off.
Dude, while we're all over the place, we got a lot to talk about. But I have to give a shout out to Tom Segura. That injury... I almost feel like I need to send Tom Segura a cease and desist. Is that not something that would absolutely be how I got injured?
I don't even know.
You think even I'm above that?
That might be worse than you. Because, I mean, Tom legitimately looks like a cartoon that slipped on a banana peel. Like, it doesn't... The movement his body makes... The way it defies physics.
He goes. His feet are up, but he's still traveling upwards. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's like someone up in like the rafter, like sitting like Sting, like lassoed his feet and pulled those. Like,
he looks like he stepped in one of those booby traps where there's a little fucking ring and it just like a tree like whips you up. If you don't know what we're talking about, Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, Two Bears, One Cave. I mean, they're them and Tim Dillon are like the 2 shows I actually listen to. I finally became a podcast listener.
I know.
And you know what?
To know this.
You know what? We probably should have done it a long time ago, because now that I listen to podcasts, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. And I'm like, oh, well, we do that. You know what I mean? It's like, we probably should have given this a whirl.
I'm still blissfully unaware.
Yeah, I feel like I ate the red pill or whatever. I wish I could go back. But so they do live shows together, and they tried to have a series of like physical challenges. They played tennis against each other, and they compete against this, compete against that. And then the last one they did was play basketball. And they did a dunk contest where they lowered the hoop and they progressively raised it. And Tom like plays basketball, and Bert has like the Mickey Mantle gene, so he's not like a basketball player, but he can kind of just do everything. He, by the way, he truly has the Mickey Mantle gene. He went and got like a health scan of everything, like perfect health,
Really?
perfect liver. His liver's fine.
That makes me feel good.
Yeah, you are very like Kreischer-esque.
Every
think you would
time
have
we
that.
talk, we're always like, I'm like, all right, I feel a little better now.
Yeah.
And Bert being perfectly healthy. Bert being perfectly healthy and Keith Richards being alive. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, you're good.
Bad.
You kind of, I think you have that. I think you and Bert are cut from the same cloth. So
What, both took fucking far too long to graduate from Florida State in the sense that I haven't yet. He did.
yep, a lot of similarities. A lot of similarities. But during the dunk contest, like Tom was going up for one last dunk, blew out his patella tendon, which is like the gooey shit in your kneecap, and then fell on his arm and like destroyed his arm. Like it almost broke through the skin. It was twisted like 720 degrees. Bert had to like untwist it. And I mean, it's a horrific injury. But so the thing was, if you're a listener of the show, this happened like a month ago. And they did a very good job of like holding this content hostage for their live show. I mean, they probably got like 20,000 more subscribers to that show just for that fucking injury. And I guess somewhat stupidly, because both Tom and Bert are, you know, middle-aged guys and not, I was talking to Coley about it and I was like, you know, I thought maybe he got like undercut going for a rebound or like got hit hard on a fast break. And Coley was like, you thought that Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer had a fast break in basketball? And I was like, no, I know it doesn't make sense, but the severity of the injury has to, like, and that's why it reminds me of me when I fucked my shoulder and shit up. They looked at my
in a wave, right? Body surfing?
No, this even worse. This is why it's my brand. The first time was when I was sleepwalking.
Oh, right.
So they're looking at my MRI and they were like, were you in a car, like a vicious car accident? And I was like, no. And then they're looking at me. They're like, you don't play like football in college, do you? I'm like, no, clearly. Like, well, what happened? I'm like, I fell in the hallway. Like, but it was so mangled that they were like, this must have been a horrendous injury. So when I heard that Tom's like bone was almost sticking through his
You were in a
skin,
twisted metal game. Like,
yeah. Like, are you a gladiator?
Ice cream truck recently? Did you strap yourself to two giant wheels and run full speed into an ice cream truck?
So same thing with Tom though. Like I thought he was at least like got hit by someone or you know came down the wrong way. He just was by himself, just tried to jump, didn't work, and like ruined his life, ruined his fucking life.
It was. I thought it was going to be so horrific because I knew the extent of the injuries. I thought it was going to be so horrific that I didn't watch because I don't like seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you finally, maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, were like, you got to see this. And
it's actually good in the sense because he lands on it, so you don't really see like something bend all the way. You know?
It's not that horrific to see,
more
but it's
funny,
fucking hilarious.
And he's like, and I mean, it's a bad injury. He's got like a long road ahead of him, but he's had like such a good fucking sense of humor about. And I love watching them operate because this is such a Barstool thing too. And I feel like a lot of the world, like the comics of the world, the Schultzes of the world, and those guys are now coming to the internet side, and we're kind of doing more comedy thing. It's all kind of blending into one thing. But I think they now are learning what we have lived for like a decade, where just like everything's always content. So like there's a shot of Tom in the fucking ambulance with like the sirens going and he's getting fentanyl and he's like, and Tom and Bert's like, live show coming up January 1st. And I'm like, that's what we've been doing for a decade, where like when your life goes off the rails, it's like kind of like, yes, like I don't have to worry about podcast episode. I don't have to worry about material. I mean, when horrendous life things have happened to me, I've been like, well, we got a lot to talk about. Yeah. So it is like everything is always fucking content, man. So, all right, we've got a lot of shit to get into. First of all, let me tell you about Acorns, though. Acorns is how you're going to get rich.
No brainer.
Acorns is how you can get rich, and how, at the very least, you can find some extra money. Much like a little fucking squirrel finding some fucking acorns, just packing them away. Acorns is for anybody. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be like a big fish with a lot of money. It's for anybody who has a little bit of extra, little extra change every time you buy something, and it costs
gas station,
60 cents
store.
or $8.53, $10.29. It rounds up, takes that extra money, puts it into an account, and that lets you save and invest. It's like saving little acorns for the winter. So anytime you're getting coffee, you're getting gas, you buy game tickets, anything that you buy, it will invest your spare change from those everyday purchases. No expertise required. Acorns diversifies your portfolio and maximizes your growth. And so they weather the market ups and downs. It's just a solid, easy way to just make some extra cash. You can get a heavy metal debit card that will save and invest for you instead of putting you in debt, and you can earn bonuses from investments from 350 plus brands. You can find a job, all right in the app. So, you can even start investing for your kids. They have Acorns Early. It's by the time these fucking kids start paying for their own shit, So join over 8 million people. A-Rod does it. The Rock does it. CNBC endorses it. So help your money grow.
It is the biggest no-brainer because if it's just change, it's not real money.
Right.
So might as well just put it aside and let it become real money over time with Acorn.
So visit acorns.com/KFC to claim your $5 bonus when you sign up. It takes under 3 minutes to start investing and saving in the background of life.
It's like the digital version of throwing coins in a jar, That was the best. Ever tell you the story about when I went? That was beer money for me in college. I would always save a little fucking bucket, and then I would run over to Coinstar and dump them in. Do you ever do the actual Coinstar where you can get a prize if you guess within like a $5 range?
I've used the Coinstar a time or two. I don't think I've had that.
I was always like a fun thing for me because I was like, I'm gonna go get like $75 and I'm gonna go get blacked out tonight on it. It's great. And so I'm at Fordham at the time, and I'm in the Bronx, and on the walk on Fordham Road to the bank, there was Braids, who was like this homeless guy who we all knew, and there's a lot of people panhandling and a lot of people bugging you for money, and I'm walking with this fucking jar of money, and this guy starts hollering at me, and I'm just a New York guy in the Bronx, homeless people chirping at me. I just head down, keep going, and he's kind of keeps yelling at me and kind of walking after me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this fucking bum is persistent, man. And eventually, he kind of catches up to me, and he just wanted change for $1. He's like, you have a bucket of coins, and I need 4 quarters. Can I just get change? And I was like, oh yes, I'm sorry. Here you go, dude. I terribly profiled you.
I think that's one of the things that everyone does in college, be it the change or you have a racket where you're like, I'm basically getting paid to drink.
Yes.
And ours was, we would always.
Did you ever try to return the cans?
Yeah.
Everybody.
We would do it literally the first party of every summer. Mm-hmm. We would have, we'd collect all our cans. And
It's
we'd be like,
the stupidest
This
thing.
year it's going to be different. Yeah. This year it's going to be easier. We'd fucking drive all over. I ended up driving across state lines. Always ended up driving to Massachusetts, which from Newport isn't very far, but it's still a different state. And we'd always end up driving to Fall River. And fucking
is that
what?
That's not one of those states where you get 10 cents, is it?
No,
That's the classic Seinfeld.
It was. I think there just wasn't
one near it,
one near Newport. So we just lug this fucking. We'd have a truck full of cans, and we spend an entire day, and we'd get $36.
Yeah,
and for the 48 hours leading up to it, we'd be like, "This is the best. We're gonna get rich.
Yeah,
right? We're gonna. And we do this every weekend, all summer, drink for free.
What's the old wounded soldier beers the worst. The smell, and you got to dump it out, and everybody has that. You try it once, maybe twice, and then you're like, we're not doing this anymore.
And you go, you know what? I'm not going to be an entrepreneur. I don't think. I think I'm just going to get a 9 to 5, come home, wash my hands, clean the situation when I get home. Do it like that. I don't want to work for anybody. I'll work for someone as long as I don't have to fucking dig through cans anymore.
It's straight. I mean, that is just homeless people behavior, straight up. All right, so. Oh, by the way, as we're talking about acorns and investing and whatnot, I mean, Bitcoin is just fucking has arrived and I just see Light Switch just going bananas over it. All right, before we get into our next segment, if you have ADD, you probably do. You probably have no attention span. You have probably no ability to retain information for hours on end, and you just want quick, digestible clips that are funny. Head over to the KFC Radio Clips page. You can watch funny little quick hitters. You don't have to dedicate much time to it. Click over there, subscribe. Leave a comment, hit the bell, and laugh. I mean, Bitcoin is just fucking has arrived and I just see Light Switch just going bananas over it. And I think back to like the Bitcoin Marty and Light Switch Lou era where they were telling everybody to buy it. And like some people got in, some people didn't. But like, I mean, they're going to get fucking rich if they bought as much as they say they did back then. And it's going where it's going, right?
I would think that they are doing very, very well right now.
I mean, we should just be buying Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Like we should just do it. Like I bought some the other day. I bought like $5,000 of it back when Lou said to, and I just bought like a little bit more. And I feel like I want to, on a very like poor person level, I want to do what that NFL player did and start converting my paycheck.
Ooh, I don't know this at all.
Some dude, I think on the Redskins, like got half his paycheck is now Bitcoin. Which actually, I think what all it means is that he sets up like automatic payments.
Yeah,
he just automatically buys.
The Redskins
but
or the football team aren't giving him
right. But it
Bitcoin.
Essentially like
that's confusing, dude.
Yeah, I think there's an app that just is like, okay,
we'll give
take
you money, you buy what you want with it.
that is exactly what it is. But it's great marketing when you phrase it as like convert your like I'm gonna convert my paycheck into booze. Barstool Sports pays me in vodka. It's like no, they pay you in dollars and you buy vodka with it. But I feel like we should get on that fucking Bitcoin train before it's too late. But it's probably too late.
I don't think Lou says again. This is Light Switch, but Lou's like
It's gonna go to 1 million.
Yeah,
So who cares that it's at 40,000?
It's at like 40 right now. It's gonna be 100.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you see Dogecoin's finally at a penny?
Dude, I got in on the Dogecoin. I got in on Dogecoin with Quigs. And then like it like, you know, bottomed out like that day. And he was just like, he's like, you're at even right now. He's like, you either got to like pay me or we can just like call it a day. He bought it for me.
Oh, I see.
And then it went up, but then it went down and we were basically flat. So rather than like me have to just simply Venmo him or whatever, I was like, all right, just call it a day. We're done. And now it's at like a full penny or something like that, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean being a full penny?
So it was at
like a fraction of a fraction of it's like it doesn't matter if it's 1 penny. It matters that it started at a fraction of a penny. So if you bought a shit ton of Dogecoin, it doesn't matter that it's only worth a single cent because you bought it at a fucking.
I don't understand finance at all.
Well, all right. If you bought something,
I mean, I do get.
Yeah, if you bought it at $1 and it went to $100, you would understand that.
Yes.
This you bought at 0.000001 and it went to 0.01, and it's like a big fucking deal. But it's just funny because Dogecoin is why I will always be afraid because I'm like, it's a literal joke. This is a joke. It's a dog coin that a bunch of dorks on the internet decided to turn into a joke, but you can like make money off it. Okay. What happens when like the Bitcoin hackers are just like, never mind, all the Bitcoin's gone. Then what?
Gold.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so, right? We're gonna have to go back to fucking something tangible, but it's just like, yeah, we mined it and now it's gone.
I don't know what any of it means. Lou always talks about it and mining and this and that, and I don't know. I'm just not a smart person. I'm not
gonna convert my
intelligent human
paycheck.
being. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we know that. We certainly know that. And it's because you come from the most dysfunctional family of all time. And I thought that was maybe still up for debate or up for grabs. I thought that everybody's family is fucked. As you get older, what you learn is that every family has got stuff, you know? Some people are real bad. Some people are kind of funny, but nobody's normal.
Right.
By the time, you know, especially the kids are grown, everybody has enough experience to be getting married or have a job or have some failures and some ups and some downs. And you just realize, oh boy, we got some stuff going on here. And so I thought maybe, and you know what the thing about your family too is quantity. There's just so fucking many of you. You know what I mean? You got size and numbers. So I thought maybe somebody can challenge the Feitelbergs for like weirdness supremacy. Maybe somebody can challenge Polly Feitelberg as like the queen of dysfunction, like the Shelbys or something.
She's on Polly.
She is Polly. She is Polly
Yeah.
from the Shelbys, yeah. And then this holiday season happened. And it's a no-doubter, folks. It's a runaway. The Feitelbergs are the wackiest family in the world. And this we talked. This was like probably right before Christmas, like maybe Christmas Eve or after Christmas. Like right
no,
after?
It was Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, when I called you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
we
Christmas
didn't talk much over break. I was just letting everything build up until the podcast. But the last time we really talked, other than a couple text messages here and there, John told me what his family was doing for Christmas Eve, and I could give you 100 million guesses had you not read the tweet. I'm sure some people saw the tweet. If you didn't know ahead of time, I could give you 100 million guesses what the Feitelberg clan did for Christmas Eve, and you would never guess it. Never, ever, ever guess it. You could guess for the first half. You could maybe guess the first half.
It was told to me point blank, and I was like, if you asked me what are you doing Christmas Eve, I would not have said that. I would have been like, that can't be true.
But
That can't be what we're
somebody,
doing.
I could see somebody guessing that the family went caroling. People from like the 1800s, like Charles Dickens, go fucking Christmas caroling. I didn't think that was actually a real thing. But okay. John says we're going Christmas caroling. I said, do you guys sing? Is there anybody in your family who sings? No? Okay. Okay, great. So what, you're going like door to door? Like you're going to go around the neighborhood and sing to like the children? You're going to go like a children's hospital? Are you doing this for charity? Are you doing this with other people? Nope. It's just the Feitelberg family. And John, tell them where the location of your Christmas caroling.
We were at the cemetery.
Oh, sure. The local graveyard.
It was the
local graveyard.
Because like, so I was going Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve because that's when I go Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Right? And so my mom tells me as I'm leaving, make sure you're home by 4. I believe it was. Make sure you're home by 4. We're meeting at the cemetery. We're going Christmas caroling. And I was like,
dusk.
I honestly was like,
when the sun goes down, meet me at the graveyard.
and
We'll sing
when
songs.
you grow up with Polly, she says enough weird things where you're like, yeah,
whatever.
Sure,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
And so I drove to Providence, and I was like going around just trying to look for anything that was like a serviceable gift. Like I'm just like thinking how to spin like different things. I'm like, yeah, this could be like the time we did so and so, whatever. Like it's all complete fucking nonsense.
You're
Like,
getting gas station gifts.
Here's this bag of tea because you fucking like tea. Like I don't know. That was literally one of the gifts I gave. It was a tea facial. It was like, I know you like tea, so here's like a facial thing.
That's
like,
a horrible gift.
It's a bad gift. It's a bad gift. I just
gift.
kept grabbing little things.
Where? Like what store? Like Target?
I was like I was in like Thayer Street and somewhere else in Providence. And then I went to Lululemon. I went to
fucking
the mall.
hashtag normalizing giving cash. Just fucking give me money. Even if it's like, I don't know, how much did that tea thing cost? $15? Give me $15.
It was all complete nonsense. But that's neither here nor there. As I'm leaving to head back home, my brother texted me. He goes, "Do you want to meet at a bar before we go celebrate Christmas in a fucking cemetery?"
And it clicked.
And
Like it hit you?
what's that?
Like did it click and hit you at that point?
Yeah,
like,
I was
wait
like,
a minute. Yeah.
We're actually doing this?
Yeah.
And I didn't have enough time. I was going to be late for the cemetery if I went to the bar, so I didn't go to the bar. But we get there, and we don't know any lyrics to Christmas songs.
No, that's why I asked. Like, are you guys like singers or something? Like,
we have no printouts for the lyrics. We don't know the beats of the song.
No.
And then we're just like, my mom has Christmas music blasting out of her car. We're in a cemetery. And they're on.
Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in on me with which camera? This one? John, I almost didn't believe him until he sent me this. There's a fucking bag of booze, empty bottles with a fucking gravestone while the fucking family sings. Let me get the volume up. Hang on.
I didn't know
Good times to be Christmas.
All right. I mean, this is crazy. Like, if your family was talented, or a couple of your sisters had a great
or
voice,
the people who are singing out were alive.
If you had a living, breathing audience, maybe it's one of the craziest things.
The
I've ever
whole
heard.
time I'm driving in, and I'm like, my best friend who's passed away, his birthday is Christmas. So like it's not like a particularly hard day for me or anything like that, but it's just like a day I'd rather not spend in a cemetery.
Right. Hey, let's think about dead people on Christmas. Let's go.
I was like, I don't even know if she knows that
Right.
it's fucking Chris's birthday. But
Right.
she's got me going to the cemetery to go sing fucking Christmas carols to my dead grandnana and grandpa. And then we got a lot of family in that cemetery. Didn't go sing anyone else. My dad was like, let's go see my mom. And I was like,
Fuck that.
Don't think so. He's like,
Fuck that old
what?
bitch.
Was this your idea? No, then we'll stay around my parents. Thank you very much.
That to me feels like I feel like you, Polly, and like I guess I would probably be the same way. Like I think I'll just speak for my own family because I don't know what goes to Polly's head. But we don't do anything anymore. We're very like, especially like once the divorce happened, my brother's over here. Like it's just like, well, we'll get together whenever. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, you're not gonna have the kids on like Thursday for Thanksgiving. We'll just get together Friday, or well, we'll do the day after Christmas. And all of a sudden, like we're not doing anything. You know what I mean? So we're just like hanging out, which is fine by me. I like that. It's like, all right, we'll just get dinner tomorrow. We don't have to make it a certain day and a big thing. But then maybe all of a sudden you start to think like, well, wait a minute, we don't like celebrate holidays. You know what I mean? Like we don't do like I don't. My parents didn't even like put up a tree this year because they were just like, I don't know, that's all fucking. Thing,
it's a weird year, fuck it.
Right? You know, but
our tree was outside.
If you like you just decorated an already existing tree, or you got a tree,
I had a tree.
brought it,
On the
and
porch
left it
outside.
outside.
Guess what? Windy on the elements outside, kept falling over.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Trees, when not rooted into the ground, will fall over. Yeah.
Fell over like every 20 minutes it would fall over.
So I could see. It sounds like Polly's just trying to like cook up some traditions here. Like I don't know, we got to go do something. Let's go see Grandma and Grandpa.
Because they're like a temporary house, so it's like a weird year
right,
already.
right.
Like the house, they sold their
I
house,
could
bought
see
their house,
that.
but they're renting a house right now. So like
I could
everything
definitely
was
see
just
that.
fake. We're just like, let's just try. And I'm gonna be honest about something too. It was pretty fun.
The dead caroling.
The dead caroling was a good time.
Yeah,
like
it's a story.
we just had a bunch of champagne,
but
bunch of scotch.
So
like,
I could get that, but I don't think that's what Polly was thinking going into it.
oh, I think it was.
Yeah, you think she was like, this is so like fucking wacky, and we're gonna like just get boozed up and have a good time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Then I tip the cap to her because she's created a whole new tradition.
And she was also like, one of the things I was concerned about was like, does she even know like it's Chris's birthday? And like that was how she started it. She's like, John Henry's usually with his friends on Christmas Eve in the cemetery.
Yeah,
I knew he
so-
wasn't gonna go up to Boston, so like we were doing.
So then,
this year.
honestly, your mom is fucking great.
a lunatic,
Yeah,
but great.
right.
Like it's
Because
absolute-
I could definitely see a scenario where it's like, with everything, whether it's holidays or just some sort of anniversary or like a recurring thing, whatever. I am so like path of least resistance that I could always be like, we don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like not doing anything in your life. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you have to do something eventually. So let's go fucking sing to the dead people. Sometimes, you know. The weirdest shit is gonna be the best stories.
It was honestly really. It was weird. It was fucking bizarre.
was fucking
it's
weird.
real bizarre when fucking people
Walk by.
are walking and you start just
Jingle bells.
You start whispering to a grave. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells.
If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it.
And then as they get further away, you're like, oh, what fun it is!
that right? Wow.
My mom had me walk like a mile away from the car because the music was so loud. She's like, can you hear it over there? I was like, yeah, Mom, we're in an empty field. And you have a car blaring music. I'll be able to hear this for miles. Like, it doesn't matter how many alleys of gravestones I walk away. This is an
nothing
empty
preventing
field
sound.
under the fucking silence of night. I will hear the fucking jingle bells from wherever.
I will hear the jingle bells and the screams of the dead corpses. Wow.
People were walking in like just like with like going to see their like dead wives and shit with flowers.
I'm sure.
My mom's like,
oh, this
hey,
is-
Steve, good to see you. Merry Christmas. Guy's like crying, carrying flowers.
We're doing Frosty next.
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman.
Got a couple extra ciders if you want one. Kids didn't make it home first Christmas alone, huh? Yeah, come on up.
God damn, man. That is great.
Mom had a good break. I was only home for like 4 days, but she had a good break too. She had an all-time line with my sister in like one of the happiest moments of her life. And she just got engaged. And she takes off her ring that she's been wearing on her ring finger.
great.
And she just like very excitedly was like, "Okay, Mom, I guess I have to tell you, I've had tattoos for 10 years." And shows like both fingers. And my mom just slowly looks up from the table and goes, "What'd you think? I'd give a shit?" She's like, okay, like I don't know. I thought it was a big reveal. For a decade, I've had tattoos. My mom just kind of looks over me. She goes, "Been wondering why she's wearing that ugly ass ring for 10 years, to be honest."
She's such a fucking gangster. She is such a fucking gangster, man. I swear to
More
God.
concerned with that Walmart ring you've been wearing. It's like one of those like long ones that covers like both.
Yeah, because you gotta just gotta cover a full tattoo. If you told me that your mom was like a mob boss, I would absolutely believe it. I would 100% believe it if she was like running shit. What a fucking gangster, man. We got a funny video sent to us the other day of a KFC Radio listener blasting KFC Radio through the speakers while whipping up some HelloFresh.
Oh, I only saw that video.
Yeah, I texted it to you and MB.
Right.
And I mean, what better endorsement for HelloFresh than Mr. HelloFresh himself, John Feitelberg, with our fans who are listening to us talk about it while they're rattling those pots and pans, whipping up some new meals, and that's what HelloFresh makes possible. Because as the world turns and as we get like further and further into the like future, I feel like people are just gonna forget how to do things.
I think that's probably pretty accurate.
Right.
Oh, yeah, baby.
What do you got this week?
Oh, man. I was just looking to see what I'm cooking for dinner tonight.
What do you got?
Fucking pub-style shepherd's pie. Lock it in, baby.
Baby.
And then I also have buffalo spice crispy chicken breast and pork flautas supreme. Monster.
Look at you.
Monster.
But like, you know, think about like something as basic as, you know, we don't know how to do math anymore because we always have a calculator on our hands, right? And we don't know how to we don't have to know directions anymore because we have GPS on our phone. All these things just like make you dumber and dumber. It's easier, but you get dumber, you know?
Correct.
And I feel like cooking is probably gonna be one of those things where it's like you can have all these deliveries, you have all these options, you can get food to just like appear on your front step.
I think the delivery, I think I've said this before. This isn't a new take. But I got delivery on Friday night, probably.
Delivery food's bad.
And I was excited to see that the gentleman was using one of those hot boxes.
Yeah.
Like that's
you're
how
just
far
not gonna let
delivery
it get
has
cold.
fallen.
Right.
Is that like you're like, oh, if someone does just the basic simple thing that we've done for decades in delivering food, someone does that now. They don't just show up with a single bag that they've been walking and
just like throw it at
20-degree weather out.
Yeah.
And they're here. That hasn't been on their bike just in the wind.
Yep.
It's like, here, this is actually hot food. Like, whoa, what?
Look, high living, high society.
Class right here.
Or you can have your own fucking home cooked food right from the pan.
Guess what? I guarantee you can make your HelloFresh. It's gonna be far, far better. I guarantee you, it's far, far faster too.
30 minutes or less, and your delivery is gonna be at least like 45 minutes. You're gonna have fresh food, faster, better, higher quality, and save money, and you actually know how to cook a little bit, because as you start to cook these HelloFresh meals, you start to learn how to do it. You can start to improvise. If you don't know how to cook, you're fine, because everything's pre-measured, pre-portioned, and the recipes are as simple as like mix this, mix that, put that in there, 20 minutes, you're done.
Everyone I've tried to either I've cooked a HelloFresh for them, or I've like when I was home during the quarantine, I just got my HelloFresh sent home.
Yeah.
And my parents get
Everyone's
HelloFresh now.
Yep.
And then Casey's been over my apartment before when I'm like cooking HelloFresh. Casey got her own HelloFresh now. It's everyone who's given it an earnest try has not looked back.
They also have Easy Eats, which are 10 to 20 minute meals. So that's like, I mean, that's basically like already cooked for you. Oven ready meals. I mean, whatever you have no excuse, because you can't be, I don't have the time. It's like, well, we have the ones that are quick, or like, oh, I want variety. It's like, well, the menu's huge. Whatever your reason is here, HelloFresh will have meals for you. And right now, when you go to HelloFresh.com/10KFC and then use the code 10KFC, that means you get 10 free meals. So that's a lot.
It's a lot.
10 free meals.
It's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3, 6, 9. Yeah, 3 weeks plus 1.
So that's crazy. So 10 free meals, including free shipping, which is also big because you get a big box of these ingredients. So HelloFresh.com/10KFC. Use code 10KFC. Get 10 free meals and free shipping for America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh.
And if you're a single person, that's like 20 free meals.
Right.
Because
You
all
can
the meals
spread
are
them all
double
out.
portions.
Right. Now, HelloFresh is helping you and teaching you skills that you need to learn to cook and eat food. And I can think of one person on the internet who would agree with that. And he goes by the name of Bean Dad. The man who ruined his own life for a fake story about his daughter and baked beans.
What?
Let me tell the tale.
Yes.
Let me tell the tale for you, John. Bean Dad, I swear to God, is one of my... I'll probably just throw... I haven't given it thought on who the other ones would be, but I'll throw top 5 worst people ever on the internet.
Really? Top 5's pretty high.
Well, yeah, of course, not like, murderers and shit, but just like as far as like assholes on the internet, this will be my 12th year at Barstool. It's like I'm desensitized, It's like I can't even get my dick hard anymore unless I'm watching someone get like their head fucking held underwater. You know what I mean? I see these stories, people text, "Are you gonna blog this?" I'm like, no, he doesn't even register on the radar anymore. Bean Dad got me going. Bean Dad. Somebody tagged me in a Ruth Conda Forever Awards tweet, which is my favorite thing that I've ever created. It's gonna give the gift that keeps on giving. And so every time I see that hashtag, I click on it, and it was John Roderick, who is now dubbed Bean Dad. And that's how you know he's an asshole. When the internet gives you a nickname, Bagel Boss, Pharma Bro, Poop Girl, like it's like, because you know what it is? You go so viral, so fast, and everyone is talking about it, that we are just like, let's just give this a nickname so we're all on the same page. You know what I mean? Like Bean Dad's not exactly the funniest term in the world, but it's just like, let's call him that. Like, it was funny too, because I saw Can Opener Dad and I saw Bean Dad. It was like going one way or the other,
Bean Dad was the way to go.
Yes. And it's just because it's like, we need to absolutely, somebody said I was disgusted. I was disgusted by this and I had so much disappointment, and I'm coining the term disgustment. And I was like, I like that. He caused me disgustment, where I was like, we all need to make fun of this guy. He's Bean Dad, fucking roast him. He had like a 15 or like 20 tweet thread.
I think I'm going to go 30.
It was so long because I started to read it and then I started to skim it and then I started to resume reading. I was like, this is still fucking going. His name's John Roderick. He oddly enough has a podcast with Ken Jennings, the Jeopardy legend. I'm like, who the fuck? And he tells a tale. Like either way, he's the biggest asshole. It's either real and he's just a dickhead dad, or he made this up and it's the least funny story of all time. The story goes that he was doing a jigsaw puzzle, and his 9-year-old daughter comes to him and says, "Dad, I'm hungry for lunch. I want these beans." Which, no, that didn't happen. Not a single 9-year-old girl since the Great Depression has ever said, "Dad, I'm hungry. I want some beans." Literally, maybe in 1929 that happened. There might have been a day.
I'm going to stand up for beans. Because once you have beans,
they
beans
are good.
Fucking delicious.
Okay.
But
I'm also going to knock you back down a notch, beans, because they're good, but you're never like, I'm going to have a can of beans for lunch.
Oh, no, not a can. No, never. Obviously. But if I'm walking
on Easter and you're having ham and there's some beans, sign me up.
If I'm ever walking a market and I just
want
go,
some beans.
Well, I'll take some Bush's baked. Yeah, why not?
And sure.
You put a couple of like a bacon in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put like brown sugar almost.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah,
maple or something.
Those baked beans are legit.
And of course, chili and all the other things and tacos. There's beans. This is not a problem with beans.
It's a problem with 9-year-olds liking beans.
A 9-year-old girl, too.
9-year-old boys don't like beans.
No,
They just sing about how they make you fart, but that's it.
That's about it. And homeless people cook cans of beans under bridges. That's what beans are for. Not 9-year-old girls. But he says
beans are almost eaten exclusively by the guy in Dennis the Menace who kidnaps kids.
That's it.
That's
I think
the
of
biggest
beans,
user of beans is child kidnappers.
You have a barrel fire under a bridge with hot dogs and baked beans, and you kidnap children. You human traffic. Those are the people who eat beans, not 9-year-old girls. But she wants the beans. And her dad says, go fucking make yourself some beans. And she's like, I can't open the can. Like, I can't get into it.
I'm 9.
And he decides that this is what I've heard. I hear this term quite a bit these days. It's a teachable moment, is what parents and teachers say.
I believe, right?
Yeah, an apocalypse dad, prepper dad, doomsday dad, some of that. And he says to himself, oh, I can't believe I raised a daughter who doesn't know how to open up a can. He proceeds to let her, again, in this imaginary made-up story, struggle for 6 hours, where he says to her, we are not eating anything other than these beans, and we are not eating anything until you open this can of beans by yourself using an old school manual can opener, and you have to figure out how to open it without me giving you any help.
If I started an activity hungry already, and I did that activity for 6 hours, I'd die.
I was gonna say you'd be dead.
I'd die.
You'd expend that energy.
I would at least faint, but probably die.
You would you'd be in the emergency room. We need to give you fluids. You'd wake up in an ambulance. Like, what happened? And I'd be like, you tried to open up a can of beans for 6 hours. That's what happened. You expend all your energy.
You haven't eaten in 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
And
I wake up in the middle of the night and eat. I couldn't tell you last time I went 6 hours without. Have I told you about my sheets, by the way?
Oh boy,
how luxuriously I live. Now, my sheets have pockets on them.
Oh yes,
which
you
is
have told me that. Yes,
incredibly dangerous. But I'll wake up
just reach over
with
what do I got?
I'll be like,
it's a grab bag.
Where's all these fucking York peppermint patty wrappers from? Like I'll just in a you sleepwalk and fall and hurt yourself. I sleepwalk and just eat fucking sugars. That's it. I just pump carbs into me. I've woken up with bare fucking raw Sour Patch Kids in the bed. I'm like, how do they get there? It's disgusting, actually. My pocket, you know how they say like
my bed pocket. I mean, that's disgusting.
You know what they talk about, like a kangaroo's pouch?
Yes, I was just thinking. I was like,
it's got
disgusting.
It's got like weed pen oil that's leaked with candy and wrappers.
The fact that you got a bed pocket is disgusting.
And then I guess I put my cell phone in there. Like it is just.
I feel like you could just take a straw and put it in. And there's a liquid. Like, I don't know, there's some water, there's some Kool-Aid, whatever. Just drink it out of my bed pocket.
I'm going to take a picture when I go home tonight. It's ridiculous. It's obscene.
God bless your poor girlfriend. But this thread goes on and on to the point that it's obviously fake, and maybe he even intended some of it to be fake, where he was like, I regaled her with stories of all the cans that I've opened.
Best cans I've opened.
And he like forces allegedly made up story to she had to learn how to like clamp the thing and hold the handles and twist the knob.
I think what's lost in all this, by the way, is that using a can opener is fucking impossible.
Yeah. Yes, that's the point.
Using a can opener,
bro.
I'm 32 and I don't really know how to use a can opener.
And you don't really need to anymore. Everything has the fucking pop top and here's the real thing. Do you know how you learn how to open up a can?
I don't think I've opened more than 5 cans in my life.
Probably not. Probably not.
But how do you
But
learn?
you know what you do? You go to your fucking parents and say, how do I do this? And they show you.
They don't tell
like,
you.
you're not being like some pussy by being like, all right, let me teach my kids.
Yeah.
Like, you bring these humans into the world and then you have to teach them how to live. You don't just like it's like what fucking Chinese people do. They just leave them on the side of a fucking mountain. They're like, figure out. Like, no, they're not animals. You have to teach them.
It is.
They're not going to intuitively know how to like the physics of it all.
This guy was
you
like,
teach them, then they know. And by the way, your daughter just wasted 6 hours of her life starving. You could have done this in 10 seconds. She should have gone and been more productive. Fuck you.
You could like this guy like got like opened up like the U.S. Patent Office's website, found the official blueprint for the original can opener. He's like, now understand how the gears
work. He says.
I know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He says like
nothing.
He's like at one point he's like the inventor of the can. Like, what part did the inventor intend for this to be on the can? Like, I don't fucking know, man.
Dude, I will.
And then your reward after all this
is
a bowl of beans. Beans, like come
bees.
On. Come on. I mean, I would absolutely. You know when like, it's like if you. You know, dads are always like, oh, I'm going to chain my daughter to the radiator. And then, like, those are the girls who go off and they're fucking whores in college because they never, like, you know, they rebel and they never. This girl, this 9-year-old girl is going to be a whore. This little fucking girl is going to be a horrible.
What a leap we just took.
This little girl is going to be she's gonna be like Bad Barbie or whatever. That fucking bitch. She's gonna be on Dr. Phil, being like, I fucking hate my parents, and I'm gonna fuck every guy I see because my dad wouldn't teach me how to use a can opener.
Suck dick for beads now, Dad.
Yes.
You like what you made me?
Your dad's gonna be like, so, honey, like, what's the lesson? How do you open up a can of beans? Well, you suck dick on the corner, and then they open it for you, Dad, because you
Suck
wouldn't
dick
teach
under
me.
a bridge. For all the good beans.
Who have if I want my beans fix, I go under the local bridge and I suck some hobo dick. God, I fucking hate Bean Dad. I hate him. I legitimately hate him. He's a and then in, what is my favorite part about this, I hate the internet, but I love the internet. It's like, I hate it here, I love it sort of thing. One of the swiftest and most decisive cases of internet justice I've ever seen. The ultimate social media ball don't lie. Within like an hour, they dug up all his old racist tweets and he had to delete his account.
Oh
yeah.
really?
He's done. He's done. I actually, to be honest, this guy is so like wordy and verbose and like.
What kind of racist stuff was he saying?
Well, he definitely is just straight up like tweeting the N-word, but like in context and in quotes and shit, but still just like saying it.
Right.
And then there was one tweet, I don't know how to find him, but he was talking about like Jew lawyers and like the white man and like the white devil or some shit like that. That I think they were almost like commentating on racism and stuff. I don't think he was being racist, but like it was just like words you don't use and things you don't joke about and like jokes that were missing the mark. And so real quick, like deleted the account.
What made people who read this thread like they were just so fueled with hatred?
John, pure hatred.
That they're like,
yes.
I hope this guy said the N-word at some point.
Yes. Yes.
Because I thought it was a weird thread, but I definitely
Well, no, I'll tell you what happened. This is
I wasn't like I have to get this man now.
Because and this is where if I could offer any sort of like olive branch to Bean Dad. No, I won't because I hate him and his whore daughter. but he people were like, this is an abusive father. Like he is abusing his daughter by starving her.
Well, that's not true.
And a lot of people were like, relax. Like, first of all, as much as it's difficult for people like us to go 6 hours with meals, like that's the space between lunch and dinner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and it was not. These are the racist things.
Yeah.
So like. That one, the perverted by the Jew judges for the mud people. I was like, I don't know what all that means, but that sounds, that sounded tough, right? So I was like, whoa, buddy. Jews ruin everybody's fun. Listen, I can't throw stones in that glass house, but what's
the one up top?
The mud people that's a line.
No, the one before that. Oh, that one's kind of funny.
Every time I use a word like gay or retarded, some gay retard reminds me those words are hurtful. Bean Dad was funny. That was May 3rd, 2011. That's a funny joke. That's a funny joke. Every time I use a word like gay or retarded, some gay retard reminds me those words are hurtful. Bean Dad, he got jokes. He's got some jokes.
Like I'd never say it, but when I looked at that, I was like, all right.
That reminds me of my favorite moment in television history. You know it well on Friday Night Lights.
Oh my God.
I don't mean gay like homosexual. I mean gay like retarded, bro. On fucking NBC
Friday night programming.
Yeah, like, come on.
That was Hector, I believe, the guy in the wheelchair.
Amazing.
I remember I was watching that back, and I remember I think we probably talked about that line like 3 or 4 times on this show now. A line from 2006.
It deserves more like credit, notoriety, whatever you want to call it.
It was a jar. When I was rewatching Friday Night Lights, probably within the last 2 years, it was a jar. I was like, wait, he just said what?
That is like that joke. Like he was trying to cram all the words into that joke, and that's why it's funny. They just did that, not trying to be funny. That was just like, that's a part of the dialogue.
This is just how people talk.
So that's why people were like, let's like drag him and cancel him, and that's where those people are the assholes too. But listen, if a Bean Dad's got to get canceled, so be it. Ken Jennings is his podcast partner.
Has he spoken up?
He has, and he has defended Bean Dad. And just been like, I've said some dumb things too, but he's like a good guy.
Oh wait, I thought Ken Jennings said that a long time ago.
So what?
Like I feel like I remember reading that thread from Ken Jennings like 2 weeks ago. When did Bean Dad happen? Bean Dad happened like this weekend, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I remember. Maybe it's all a haze because all I did was just watch Criminal Minds for
sing
6
to dead
days
people.
straight.
Yeah.
And but I thought that was an older thread. That
No, January 3rd.
Okay. I feel like if you look at his profile,
Ken Jennings said, if this reassures anyone, I personally know John to be A, loving and attentive dad, and B, who tells heightened for effect stories about his own irascibility on like 10 podcasts a week. The site is so dumb. Like, yeah, I mean, listen, like you said, when that part of the story that was like, I told her of tales of yore when we opened up like, yeah, none of it's, I don't think any of it's real. I think it's a Ruth Conda thing. Like, everyone these days is telling stupid, made up stories. I think he wanted it to be real. I don't think he was one of those like joking ones. Like, I think he wanted it to like people to believe it with some exaggeration.
Yeah, I think
there are some people who just flat out make things up. There are some people who like embellish. I think he thought like, I think this was like somewhat of a real story to him. He's an asshole.
Yeah, I think what happened was his daughter said, Daddy, I'd like some lunch, and then he just ran.
Have you ever opened up a can?
Yeah,
and that was
like,
all
right, I got this.
And if there's a bean mom, I hope that she was like, John, just open the fucking can of beans, okay? Come on. So everybody's the asshole. Anybody who like called that guy like actually an abusive dad, they're an asshole. But Bean Dad, I hate him. That might be that so far is the pinnacle of made up stories about the kids. That's the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Yes,
it's not
a made up story. It's a book. He wrote a book about it.
It's a novel about a fictional can of beans and the woman and the little girl who opened it. I mean, what a tale. Fucking John. What no wonder you're a failed podcaster.
Ken Jennings should fucking tread lightly though.
So I said,
bro, you don't want to lose the Jeopardy money because you were fucking
exactly what I said.
Like, dude, if I was gonna be like, I don't even know what other profession I'm
even qualified to do.
Yeah. But like, what if this very very big company was gonna hire me to do something and then you did something stupid? I never met that man once in my life.
Never. I the first thing I said was like, yo, I'm about to get that Trebek money. You and your baked beans and your whore daughter. Like, I don't know you. See you fucking later. He came, Ken Jennings, good friend. Bad friend choice, like bad choices of friends, bad taste in friends, but
I would
deny.
People would show me videos of us talking on a podcast.
Don't know that guy.
I'd be like,
deep fake.
Fucking deep fake. I've never
Photoshop.
seen that guy once.
Face swap.
Like,
don't even fucking know that guy.
Good idea. Yeah. I don't even know what that guy's name is.
Yeah, if I was Bean Dad, I would call up Ken and I'd be like, throw me under the bus right now. Like, we're gonna get that Trebek money, man. You send out a tweet right now saying, fuck Bean Dad. Like, do it. Do it. Because I deserve it. You deserve it. Stay away from me. I'm toxic, man.
Dude, like, I'd be like, how about just throw me like a year's salary? Because it's probably more than we were doing on our podcast.
I can't
if I'm gonna get Trebek's job for 50 years, right? How old's Ken Jennings? Like 40?
Yeah, he's probably got years to go. Yeah.
He probably got 40
so
more
now
years.
the leader in the clubhouse, if this is viewed as a like a little hiccup from like the Merv Griffin people, LeVar Burton has revealed a
little reading rainbow?
and that also might just be I think like Black Twitter just is like campaigning for a black person, so we might have a race war on our hands for a Jeopardy host here. But I feel like that's a good one.
LeVar Burton, I don't know enough about
Reading
LeVar.
Rainbow, and he was in Star Trek too.
Yeah,
so
and the rest of it.
And that's like a nerd culture is going to embrace all that shit. So
Arrested too.
Yeah. So I mean that like
I feel like he's done a Sunny too, hasn't he?
That could be,
Sonny definitely talks about Reading Rainbow.
Could you imagine if
he's in Arrested?
Could you imagine if Jeopardy was like, yeah, we had the paperwork ready, but like Bean Dad, sorry,
kind of fucked you.
Imagine if you lost that job because of your fucking dickhead friend and his dumb made up story. Imagine if you ruined your own life, because now, like it or not, deserving or not, people are like, that guy's a racist, John Roderick, you know? And if you ruin Ken Jennings' life too because of your made up story about your daughter and her beans. I mean, talk about like the cause and effect.
The internet is so fucked.
But that's why I was thinking about this the other day because you know, when we always throw out the disclaimer, like, you know, well, I know we're not working in coal mines. I think we're the internet coal miners. I think we are like in the mud, in the dumps, in the fucking like skid row of the internet, and we have been for the last decade, and I think we deserve credit for that.
Yeah, and that's true.
You know, like if like
people on the block are just getting stabbed all the time. And
yes, and it's almost worse because a coal miner is like, yes, it's a horrific life. It's physical burden, right? But it's like, you know, you get calloused hands and fucking big muscles and you can do it. The internet coal mine, it fucking it ruins you up here and in here. And there's no callus and there's no like building muscle for that.
But what the nice part about that is though, is because I was actually thinking about this recently. It's very nice that you kind of brought that up, where it's like, it's here where it fucks you up. Because I was thinking recently that chicks dig scars
that you can't see these ones.
It's still, but like they want them on your brain.
Yeah.
They don't want,
and they do. The girls love a project and a fixed one, and like, oh, this one, he's got a lot of mental scarring.
Back in the day, it's like, oh, you got that fucking scar from war. Now it's like, tell me about how your mom ruined you.
Yeah. and I will fuck you. And I'm gonna fall in love with you.
I find that sexy.
Yeah.
You are mentally deranged.
We are for sure. We're the internet coal miners, and we have been doing like the manual labor of the internet for years by like, I mean, because again, like I was saying earlier, the comics are coming over to like the internet world, and they live like above the fray. They're like, I have an Instagram account now, and I go viral, and like I'm on the internet. You're not on the internet.
Yeah, right.
You're not on the fucking internet. We're on the internet. We're like the gatekeepers of the internet. We're like holding back all the fucking skells so that you can enjoy the internet. So we,
Hodor. I'm a Hodor.
Hold the door. So these fucking comics can make their Instagram clips. Fucking Whitney Cummings can put her fucking podcast out there while we're holding the door. Right? Like, come on. So, I think that
we just let them do that to us. We just let them tell us that his fucking name was Hodor because he couldn't stop saying hold the door.
That was the sign, by the way.
Fucking asshole.
That was a defining moment for Game of Thrones where the dumb people of the internet thought that was good.
People thought that was amazing.
Right. And we were like, ooh, that kind of was stupid. and then if you think about where it ended up, that was the first moment where like it was like, oh wait, this show is gonna not. They're not gonna land.
That was the
not
first
stick
chink in the armor.
Yeah.
That led to the
It just
fucking
spiraled out of control.
disembowelment of. She forgot about the Navy. That was Hodor. People were like crying. I was laughing my ass off.
Yep.
That's how that fucking asshole got his name. Hodor. Like, you all fucking agreed to that. You all just let that be told to your faces, and you were fine with it. You don't deserve good television. You deserve exactly what you got. Hodor. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
That gay retard Hodor.
He fucking. Oh, I was so sad when Hodor died. I don't remember when Hodor died because I was laughing too hard. I was looking at through fucking tears.
That was that moment, and that felt the exact same way as the beginning of final season, season 8 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Where I remember being like, I was like watching, I was like, I hated that. That was terrible. And I was like, I think I'm afraid to say it, but that was really bad. And I saw the rest of the people reacting. Same thing with like the first 2 episodes of the final season. I was like, oh, so this sucks. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? And then like by episode like 5, they were all on board with it. I was like, yeah, no, this sucks.
Yeah, people.
And I was just
really
like, I was just not afraid to say it.
First.
Yeah. And then they all came around.
Yeah.
We didn't see internet coal miner.
Yeah.
We didn't get the fucking apology that we deserved. There was not one person who was like, oh yeah, you were right. That whole season was a bag of dicks. You were too afraid to admit, and I don't know why. It's like you can love a show or a band or a movie or whatever and be like, but that part wasn't good. Mm-hmm. If you can't do that, then your opinion means nothing. Because if you can't ever like separate, if you just like something so much that you're always going to tell me it was good, then your opinion means nothing. If you can't say like, yo, the first 5, 6, whatever seasons were great, but like this final season is not good so far.
People were mad at me. Even Battle of Winterfell was what, episode 7? Like people were mad at me about that. I was like, that fucking sucked.
I think that was the dark one.
Yeah.
And it was just one whole big battle and nobody died. Yeah, that was like
an action. Like 4, episode 4.
Yeah, whatever
that
it
was 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So my only review of that was.
Yeah.
You were like, you're such a fucking loser. That was great. No one has gone back and watched the Battle of Winterfell.
Not once.
Not for a fucking second.
And if you want to like, well, no, I was gonna say if you want to tell me like the cinematography of the battle was cool, but you couldn't even see that, so no.
Yeah,
you know?
like, you should have made me go watch it at a Lowe's theater because I'm fucking. Apparently they're all like, oh, you didn't change your TV set. No, I don't change my TV settings. I just fucking watch TV.
You're still like an Irish brogue there. I don't change my TV settings. That was the biggest bullshit that has ever happened on the internet. The creators or the directors, whoever that was, who said, you need to change the settings on your television before, like after the episode aired.
Yeah.
You should have changed. How did we ever allow that? That person should have been killed. That person should have been put to death. We should have found them and been like, we sentence you to death for telling us that it was our fault. We didn't change the settings on our TVs, which nobody has ever changed. You open up your TV, all the little bars are right in the middle. Brightness, contrast, blah, 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 colorful. It just sticks in the middle forever.
It wasn't even
the one episode of television in the history of TV that we needed to change our fucking settings.
I don't
Fuck you.
I don't think it was even about motion smoothing. Like, because that's one I've heard of now from the Tom Cruise video. From Glenn Howerton was talking about it recently. How he'll always just change motion. I believe it's called motion smoothing.
No, this was just pitch and darkness. Yeah,
they were
shit.
just they were.
It was just that we can't see. It was too
that
dark.
At least I've heard of that one. I don't think that's what they were saying. I don't think they were like, well, you had motion smoothing on.
Absolute assholes.
There were 10 minute stretches of that show where the dragons were battling the fucking bad guy, and you just couldn't see.
Do you remember? People on the internet made like their own version where they brightened it, and it did look cool. I was like, oh, I didn't even know any of that was going on.
Yeah.
That fucking show, man.
It does. It is nice how it just randomly inspires anger.
Yeah, that's true. It didn't leave me indifferent. Didn't leave me indifferent. Okay.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Fuck. Let's talk about the difference between men and women. That's something we do on this podcast quite often, I feel like. Little men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Is brought to you by Brothers Printers. We've got the P-Touch personal home label maker. Chicks love to label things. I'll give a girl a label maker for Christmas. Oh, baby.
I don't think I'm gonna go with this is just girls. I think.
Oh, you're crazy.
If you get a label maker, you're like, I gotta start labeling.
Yeah, for sure. Now. Well, this is like anything else in the world.
I've been in the room with a label maker a handful of times in my life. Just by the time I walked out, that thing looked like a fucking freshman college dorm. We're just like.
You get organize the shit out of your life.
Across the middle, television. I was labeling everything.
I mean, you can label. You can have like in your office. You can label things. You can do decorative labels. You can organize like the shit out of your life with a good label maker, which. You can have the perfect pantry. You can have the perfect laundry room. You can have things labeled in your garage, in your shed, seasonal storage. You can use different fonts and frames. You can use fun symbols and emojis. If you have like a nursery or a kid's room, you're organizing their toys, their books, their games. If you have a 9-year-old daughter who has cans of beans, you can label your can openers and beans. And every little step of the way, a label maker can be a nice touch that helps you stay organized and helps you stay on point and keep it all in an organized space. Right now, go to ptouchhomebybrother.com. ptouchhomebybrother.com to get the personal label maker only from Brother. Whether you are a guy, girl, at work, at home, like I said, in the garage or in the nursery, the label maker will keep you organized and keep you stress-free. So go to ptouchhomebybrother.com. Well, the reason I said the differences between men and women is John experienced something over the break that I think most people have probably heard of in some variation or another. And I don't know what the fuck it's about.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
There's just been I learned a lot over the break about just a lot of different things. And at one point we were on, this must have been New Year's Eve, maybe it wasn't. It was probably after that. So let's say it was 2-3 days ago. And we were hanging out in my apartment, and some girls who I'm friendly with and some girls who I live with were all gone for a long time. And they came back in the living room, and I was like, where have you guys been? And they're like, we were in the bathroom comparing nipples. And I said, what does that even mean? And they said, it is a regular thing. They said they're like, yeah, like girls do it in the bathroom all the time. It's just like we like compare, and we've heard a variation of that.
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser was on this podcast.
Nikki Glaser took it as far to compare assholes.
They were comparing assholes, and
which brave. Unless like if you're a hot chick and you know you got a great asshole, then fine. If you are an average person and you think you might have an average asshole, you are brave to just be like spread them, because it could. Could you imagine? We've referenced this before, like as bloggers, like when you think you're making a relatable joke and the whole world's like, oh, nobody else does that. And you're like, oh my God, I want to crawl in a hole and die because I'm the only person who does XYZ. If you were like, hey, your guy's asshole looks like this, and the whole gang was like, ugh, you'd have to kill yourself. You'd have to kill yourself. You can't walk around with the ugly asshole.
If I'm gonna have anything bad, I hope it's my asshole. It's an asshole.
But guys, girls is very different. You have a bad asshole as a girl, that's bad.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not
mine.
great at all.
Mine. You don't see that thing a lot.
I certainly hope not.
Okay.
But
I get dressed like a little fucking girl when I'm done. Like,
but this was not the assholes, but Nikki Glaser did. This was the nipples. Which I mean, I can understand how this does happen. If you're changing in front of each other, or you're at a bar, back in the old days, like girls are in a bodysuit or whatever, where you have to like get fully naked, so your tits are all of a sudden out, and then girls are just like nice to each other and they're curious and whatever. Oh, you got cute nipples, whatever.
They're all curious.
They're curious little cats. Curiosity killed the cat. You gotta watch out. They, I just can't think of like an equivalent. Like, I just don't think guys would ever be like, hey, let's go look at our dicks.
No, not as adults. Like if we're talking like high school, like in the showers, yeah, we'd fucking point out each other's flaws and each other's dicks all the time.
Yeah, but hockey guys are weird. Did you do it in the sense of like, we're insecure, let's compare to feel better? Or was it just like, you got a weird fucking bump on your dick and you got a weird...
Like comparing me. Like, oh, how's that one hang?
Right,
it was just like making fun.
Right.
I didn't like making fun or complimenting. Would be like, oh, he's got a fucking
hammer on him. Yeah.
It was just really just stating obvious. It's like if you're in a room with a dick, you're going to be like, well, I got to comment on the dick.
Right. It's weird if I don't talk about this cock.
But it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing we should probably bring up, that like 18 of us in here with our dicks out.
Yeah. Don't make it weird, dude. Just talk about it, okay? But I know that the girls do it. I guess it just is shocking to me how frequently it seems to be happening, where they're just like, yeah, we're comparing nipples. What the fuck's the big deal?
It was like, it was like an hour.
And it's not a big deal. I don't care. But it's just like, oh, you got, how often is this going on? And with how many? And you're doing it with strangers? You're doing it with friends?
They said strangers. They're like, yeah, girls in the bathroom. But I think that is some romper shit. Like
where you're naked. The amount of times that girls are just fully naked in a bar is hilarious.
Get dressed in something where you were like, in order to pee, I'm gonna take all of this off.
All of it. But can you imagine being in public and you're out, so you're just like, your pussy's out, you're completely naked, and you're like your high heels. You have like high heels and like a choker on, and you're fucking hanging your clothes up while you sit on a public toilet. And they're just like, yeah, it was worth it. Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I don't know. Those fucking bodysuits can be pretty fucking hot.
They can be, yeah. They can be.
But girls who, if you do this amongst friends, fine. But the idea that you're out and you're at a bar and like, oh, I compare my nipples to like so many. I mean, they're all fucking lying and shady and being nasty to each other, right? So they're like,
apparently not. Apparently, women in bathrooms are all the best friends ever.
That's what I mean, though, and we know that's not how it works. We know that girls are not the best friends ever. So you know that those girls walk out and they go, "Oh my god, that girl had the worst nipples. Oh my god, those pancake nipples were disgusting. Did you see how big her areola was? Those nipples were so long." There's no way that all of a sudden girls get together and they're just kumbaya. Everyone's got great nipples. They're the most judgmental creatures on the planet.
Yeah, but guess what? I'd handle it the same way.
Sure, I'm not blaming them, but I'm just saying any girl, who's ever been,
no, you got a pretty good dick, bro.
Right. That thing's fucking mangled. Yeah. But so I guess, and maybe I don't want to burst the bubble here. They can all just keep living their happy ignorance is bliss type lives. But if you have ever been a girl walking out of a bar being like, oh my god, I just feel like so much better. Like all the girls said I have nice nipples. They're lying. They're probably lying.
You could have good nipples. You could, that's a thing.
Sure, but also probably you don't, and girls are lying to you because they're two-faced bitches. You know what I mean?
I think if you have nice nipple, I think if you have bad nipples,
I think you know if you have nice nipples and you know if you have bad nipples. Yeah. So if you walk out of there being like,
you're probably not playing the nipple game if you know you have bad nipples.
Right. You better not be. You're gonna be crazy to pop out your nipples if you know you got dinner plates. That's fucking nuts.
You have a mirror. Everyone has a mirror.
Yeah.
You know what?
And you've seen porn. You know how big they're supposed to be, what color they're supposed to be, and if it varies that much, you got weird nipples. I don't know what to tell you. And you need the fucking strangers at the bar to.
I don't know what was a more shocking revelation over break. Was either my learning that girls have nipple offs, or my dad learning about water. My dad had a big thing about. He's now talked to me about it probably 3 or 4 times. Where he's like, "Have you heard about this stuff?
Water.
He's like, tell you what, I used to get cramps all the time. I've been drinking water lately. Don't get them anymore."
It doesn't surprise me in the sense of like, dads and guys, but it does surprise me in the sense like your dad works out, he's in good shape, he's like a fucking well-oiled machine.
He doesn't bring water bottles to the gym. Occasionally he would go like to, I think he has to now because he doesn't work out in a gym anymore. But like he would like, I remember whenever we went to the gym together, it'd be so annoying because he'd be like, "Let me grab a sip of yours," or he'd be like, "All right, I'll be back." Like I'd have to wait for him in between sets because he'd be going to like walk to the water fountain to get a quick like, and then come back. But it reminded me actually of like the Gary Goldman bit in The Great Depression where he's like, I grew up in a time where we didn't drink water, right? And it was just like, he's going, I'm not trying to be cool about it. I'm not trying to say we didn't need it. We desperately needed it. We just didn't get it. And like I think my dad and Gary Goldman are about the same age. Gary's probably a little bit younger, and he's just like, I don't think water was ever a thing in his life. Yeah. And I do the same thing.
That generation's not doing like, drink, half your body weight in water for the day or whatever the fuck.
No, it's like, you know what I mean? Drink coffee until it's time for beer and then that's
it. Yeah. And suppress your feelings. That's back when the food pyramid was like, eat like 70 servings of pasta a day. Right? The food pyramid was like 100% wrong. Yeah. It was like, eat the least of the things you need the most of and the most of the things you need the least of.
It's like, you guys heard about grains and carbs? You're gonna need those.
Eat fucking fatty meat and drink coffee and booze.
But it was like he's called me a few different times about like his leg being sore. He's like, I'll tell you what, it feels great since I started drinking water. And then he called me after.
I mean, a lot of people do that where they're just like my skin got better.
No, because I'm the same way.
And
like,
it's real. It's
I'll go to bed sober one night. I'm waking up, I'm like, feel refreshed as hell. Yeah. They're like, if you don't have alcohol, you were trying to go to sleep, you hit REM cycle easily and stuff like that.
You're giving your body the fuel that it needs.
Right.
It's like, have you tried this oxygen stuff, man? It circulates through my veins. It's fucking great.
Oh, you're like, I've been working out for a few weeks, feeling a little big. Like, yeah, you look great. You've been exercising.
Yes.
It's like, we know what it is, but when you make that switch in your head, it's a completely different thing. Like, you think I'm the only person who's realized this.
Right.
No one else has heard about this.
I have to tell the secret.
My dad called me on New Year's Day, being like, I hadn't been drinking water for a few days. Been drinking a few too many beers. Had a lot of water yesterday, feeling a lot better. Like, I know, dude. I know how it works. God. But I am guilty of the same thing. If I discover something that everyone knows about, I will act like I'm Christopher Columbus.
It's like,
we already figured that out.
If I started drinking coffee,
no, you didn't. That's how I got here.
If I was like, man, I am wide awake. Have you guys had this coffee will make you stay wide awake? Yeah, dickhead. But I do feel like that generation, and then particularly like the men's, like our dads from that generation, they're probably missing out on a ton of shit.
Oh,
like even from like
emotions,
mental health and emotions down to little things like that, where it's like
you're covering the whole spectrum,
right?
Tears to water,
right? Or you know what I could see being a big one, like body wash or something, like something that used to be like I just use like fucking like hand soap all over my body, and then it's like this is like nice, you know what I mean? So there are products that you don't need to just use the worst version of everything, because I feel like that time. Fucking bean dad, you know what I mean? People like that were probably like not trying anything at all ever. It was just like, do your job, make your money, fucking go to sleep, do it again. Like that's it.
Like they're missing like comedies,
right? Oh, have you seen this stand-up comic? It's funny. He's telling jokes. We're laughing. We're experiencing life.
We don't even have to go into stand-up comedy. I mean, just like wedding crashers. Like, you got chicks in it. Fuck that. I'm putting the Expendables back on.
Dude, my dad is basically retired at this point. And my mom and dad live in a very tiny apartment, and they hate each other. And so my dad's just watching like TV nonstop, and he's been watching a lot of Westerns. And my mom's like, that's okay though. It's better than the Nazis. She said it with just like this disdain that my dad, and I know the TV's on like, the volume's on like 100 because he can't hear, and he's just watching like World War II Nazi fucking like slaughtering movies all day long.
I can see that too, because at least the Western twang got like a little nice to it. You just hear Nazis yelling all day,
like guns and murder and screaming.
That's gonna give you like nightmares.
Yeah, he's probably he's doing the sleep apnea machines. And speaking of REM cycle and shit, he like hadn't dreamt in, I don't know, like 50 years. Because again, like that generation is like, I don't dream. I just like, I lay with my eyes closed until it's time to go to work again. But he's now like getting deep sleep because I guess he wasn't breathing. So his body was always waking up. So he's having like full blown, like vibrant technicolor dreams again for like the first time in probably like decades because he's actually asleep, which is really one of the more like depressing things that I've thought of. I'm like, how fucking tired are you, Dad? You haven't slept in like literally haven't fully fallen asleep in like 30 years.
I think I probably
You're right there.
I'm right there.
maybe you gotta sleep. You definitely have sleep apnea.
Yeah. You've heard me sleep, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna die soon.
I know.
Well, all right, we'll get into our voicemails in a minute. No guests on the show today. We are gonna go. This is gonna be me and Fights flying solo for the next month. We're gonna go no guests January. Some people give up booze. We're giving up podcast guests because I don't know why not. We're giving it a shot. We're experimenting with the show a little bit, and I know some people like the guests. Some people like when it's just us. Some people like the long shows. Some people like the short shows. So we're gonna give it a shot, old school style, where it is. What was a couple weeks ago we were talking about being boiled alive in a hot tub? Was that the metaphor we were using?
Yeah, well, it wasn't us. It was someone else used
talking
it.
about like falling in love. Oh, the Martin Shkreli falling in love.
Right.
It was like
yes.
being boiled alive in a hot tub. In a good way, it's the opposite of this. Like there's probably a couple points throughout KFC Radio where I was like, I can't believe we landed that guest. But for the most part, it was kind of like a gradual thing where it's just like, yeah, we are going to get like A-list actors on the show now. And it just like all of a sudden, but if you think about where we came from to now, it's kind of crazy. The amount of like the people that talk to us, I don't even know why they do. It's kind of weird. It's like, I can't believe that you're willing to be on this
But
podcast.
also, like, it started with Jay Cutler.
Right.
So, like,
Well,
Jay was a
it,
favor.
It like popped and then it went like
went
back
down
down
for like
for
4
a
years.
long
Yeah.
time. And so we have had a lot of good guests over the years. And if any like major names pop up, we're gonna do it. But we're gonna go just me and Fights for the next month. So anybody who likes us, you're getting your fix. So voicemails in a minute. But first we got to talk a little in-house business, and that's the form of the Barstool Fund, which is now at $17 million, 140,000 supporters. 74 businesses have been saved and funded with the names that Dave is interacting with now, from Kid Rock to Sylvester Stallone to Guy Fieri making his own fucking press conference, Tom Brady tweeting it. I feel like it's at I think it's almost reached a point where like the normal people have done. I'm more impressed with the normal people who are like, donate. You put up $5,000. There's some random guys who put up like $100,000. Some Bitcoin dude who put up $250. The normal people I think are like the impressive ones. But I also think that now we might reach a point where it almost turns over to like institutional donations. Like I could see like businesses getting involved and like companies getting involved.
Oh, like
where,
AT&T has
shit like that, where like it might. It's so weird because unfortunately things are politicized and there are still people. This is a tough one for the Barstool haters.
It is a tough one, but like I don't think that this like absolves us of anything we've ever fucked up either. Like it's just like, yeah, we're doing a good thing. It's
but
like,
the amount of people who are trying to portray it as a scam or say that
that's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's like you it's like the people who couldn't admit that the Game of Thrones episode sucked. It's like this is too black and white of a good thing. That I know you hate Dave and I know you hate Barstool and I know you know all like the bad things, but you cannot apply that to this. You can't.
No,
it's just you look foolish if you are trying to.
And it's
to
weird.
downplay
People
this.
always do that with us whenever we do charitable things. Like remember how big a deal that was when like we were just trying to figure out the right way to like spend the marathon money. Mm-hmm. If you like.
Where is it?
Yeah,
like it's been weeks.
We're fucking talking to lawyers and stuff, dude.
It takes time. Yeah.
Right.
Anytime we've done donations, I mean, that's always been an issue. So I guess it's nothing new. But on this scale, when it's $17 million and you're seeing the proof with all of the business owners being like overwhelmed and happy, and there are still people trying to like tear it down, it's like you really are you're that biased that you can't. And you don't
watch
have to
one of
praise
the
it either.
videos.
And if you do, and you still like you said, it doesn't absolve everything else, and you still hate Dave and you hate Barstool, like fine, but you don't have to tweet or post or whatever negatively either. You can just be like, all right, fuck, like Barstool wins this round.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I do think that's what Deadspin did. Did you hear us talk about that on the run?
I did, yes. But
Deadspin put up their top 100. I think it's called like Idiots of the Year, and number 4 for the year 2020 was Kurt Schilling, and like. And he said a couple dumb things, but like par for the course for Kurt Schilling.
As I say, I didn't even know Kurt Schilling was doing anything.
And by no means a top 5. If I said to you, who are the biggest like assholes of the year, like Kurt Schilling is not cracking the top like 50.
Top 100. He would have never crossed my mind. What do you remember at all? What he said? And do you remember who was ahead of him?
I didn't look at any of the rest of the list. Okay. But there was a Barstool fan tweeted. His theory was that number 4 was supposed to be Dave, and then the Barstool Fund took off, and Deadspin was like, "There's no way we can call him the 4th biggest asshole of the year," when he raised at that point probably like $10 or $15 million for small businesses. So they were like, let's just throw Kurt Schilling in there. You can always count on because he is just known as a right wing conservative who's scammed this and said that, and posting like ISIS memes and shit like that. So you can always just count on Kurt Schilling for like a list like that. But the thought of places like Deadspin being like all queued up, ready to fucking make fun of Dave and Barstool, and then being like, he's actually like the hero of the internet right now. It is
wild.
Like they had a little conference call. They called a meeting. They were in their war room. Like, what do we do? And they were like, maybe we can still run it, and maybe we can still say it. And then they were like, nah, just go to the bullpen, call in Kurt Schilling, and just fucking dodge a bullet.
So 1 was Kelly Loeffler, the senator in Georgia. 2 was Trump. 3 was Rudy Gobert. And then 4 was Kurt Schilling.
So that's what I mean. Like those first 3 people are like inherently tied to 2020. Everybody knows the name Rudy Gobert. Obviously Trump, Kelly Loeffler, and then Kurt Schilling. Like, no way, dude. No fucking way. That was going to be all about the Kaepernick stuff. That was going to be all about Dave calling the election for Trump. That was going to be all about all the things that Dave went viral for in the bad way, and they had to throw it out the window because Dave has basically absolved himself of everything.
I mean, this definitely doesn't even make any sense at all. This currently, like, it's just listing his stuff that he
has done in like the past.
Yeah, like
I'm telling you, that is the most believable and reasonable conspiracy theory ever.
Of course, we haven't gotten to his collection of World War II memorabilia, which consists of enough swastikas and SS gear to prompt one historian to declare that Schilling has some kind of fetish with Nazi uniform. That happened in
that was not a year 2020.
That was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
In an email to the Arizona Republic in 2019, Schilling announced shrugs and eye rolls that he was considering running for Congress.
It's like they just needed a good old plug it in and it'll always play with this audience, and that's Kurt Schilling.
Okay, so they're just saying he tweeted. He had done tweets.
That was that alone. Once you get past the satisfaction of how good this is, if that ever wears off, wow, look at all these business owners, that's the next step of just thinking about how much that threw a wrench into their stupid fucking list.
Here's Kurt spelling Democrats wrong. Okay.
That was supposed to be Dave Portnoy. That was Dave Portnoy, and they had a whole write-up ready to go, and they
spelled
scrapped
a word wrong on
fucking
Twitter.
thing.
Here you go, number 4 idiot of the year in 2020.
That to me, so the B asterisk RSTOL crowd, the people who will not write out Barstool, they are having a tough time with the Barstool Fund. But it's. When it first started, I thought we were just funding it. I didn't understand that it was like crowdsourcing everything or getting like donations. So when Dave was like, "We're just going to fund you through the whole pandemic," I was like, "I don't think this can happen." But then when you open it up to people, and it kind of, I saw someone say, "I feel like this is what taxes should be like." Yeah. This is probably how it should go. It's like this is we get money taken out, and then when we need it for real things, like we can get it back. So Dave and Liz and like everybody else who's doing it. I don't know where it stops. It has slowed down a little bit, but like I said, if the normal people are slowing down only to give way to like the bigger names, then this thing can go crazy,
Yeah, I mean it's slowed down, but also like I think Dave announced like basically like over $1 million in donations like today from 3 or 4 celebrities.
Right. So that's what I mean. If those big fish keep coming in, and if I had like tons of money, this is the best way to directly help people, and then also get like the best PR of your life.
Yeah.
Like if you're a public relations company right now, and you're looking for ways to like, yes, you should be donating to charities just for like the good of it, but also people do these things for their own purposes. Like it's the ultimate PR move. Like, because you can donate to 1 million charities, but you're not gonna get the publicity that this thing gets. It's like it is the ultimate move right now. If I was, I'd be like, yeah, take all of the money, take all of my money. You can have it all, and you'll get it all back in the form of goodwill from the entire world.
Which, in PR sense, is also what we're doing. For 5-star reviews of Friday Night Pints, you get $5 donation.
Johnny stepped up. Anybody who rates, so Friday Night Pints is now a audio feed on iTunes. So anybody who 5-star review and leaves a 5-star rating and leaves a review and screenshots it and sends it to replies to John's tweet
with hashtag Barstool Fund. I think I think there's like about a couple of hundred responses already, so we're definitely at a couple of grand probably of a donation we'll make. We'll keep it open until the end of day today, in the day that you're listening to this, end of Tuesday. We'll just make it easy that way. And whatever it's at, how many 5-star reviews there are that have been tweeted, then we'll give $5 for all that. It'll probably be, I would guess, probably another $2,000 or so, $2,500.
I mean, you're putting up big numbers, man. You already put up 2,500. Johnny Moneybags is funding.
Been drinking a lot. So.
There could be worse drunk decisions. You know what I mean? But and by the way, just like the Friday Night Pints feed is now up, so I feel like there's probably a lot of people who watch Friday Night Pints, but probably a lot of people, like if you're more of a podcast listener, you might not have tuned in on Friday nights for an hour.
Right.
An hour-long video is something like a lot of people might not watch, but I think it's something you would definitely listen to. So, and when I think about it, I've always thought like, if we were all more on the same page back when Barstool, like when podcasts first started, there should have just been like a Barstool podcast, and it should have been like a couple of hosts and then a rotating cast of Barstool characters, which is exactly what Friday Night Pints is.
Yeah.
So really, if you like us and you listen to us as you are right now, it's us plus you're gonna get like 5 Barstool personalities every week. That should be a big podcast, and like the rate that advertisers are like that's. You're getting major names from a major media company every single week. So go subscribe to that. Don't just listen. Actually subscribe, rate it, and review it. It makes our lives easier.
It does really, really help us. We never did. We were like anti. I believe we explicitly told people
I will never do it.
Not to review this podcast and not to rate it and not to subscribe to it. And
it's the ultimate, like,
boy, was that a mistake.
We shot ourselves in the foot so fucking bad. That is the ultimate, like, too cool for school, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna carry this fucking heavy backpack with one strap only because I want to look cool. I don't want to say rate, review, and subscribe. Although I do think it does sound like, I do hate it. It sounds like it's like people just say it, or like when comics just read, I'm going to be at this comedy club on this date, and this is on this date. It's like, but you got to get this fucking information out there because that's how you grow. Like, you do have to rate, review, and subscribe. I really blame his fucking Apple. They put too much stock in it. It's too much. There's too much. You get too much credit for rate, review, subscribe.
Like Nick just said, like Friday Night Pints is the top 20 podcast in the world. No, it's not.
Right, but because people are rate, review, subscribe, so like, if you can just go click the fucking button for us, it makes all the difference in the world. And we want Friday Night Pints to be as big as it can be. So go over there, do that. One last thing before we get into our voicemails. It's brought to you by Cross Rope. I gotta start jumping rope. I saw it. I'm looking at the cross rope. I'm looking at the different ropes, the different weights, the different handles. I've got the app on my phone still. I just have to do it. It's the easiest way to get in shape. It's the easiest way to build muscle. You can do cardio. You can do strength training. You can do...
you do all this without having to go to the gym. It's the easiest thing. You do it you do it in an apartment.
Which is perfect too, by the way, because I mean, as things are getting worse again, people don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to be around people. It's like, if there's anything that can do it, if you can do a full body workout at home, now is the time to fucking do it.
You can do it at home. You can do it in a park. You can do it in the middle of the fucking street. You can do it on a porch.
Under the bridge with the baked beans.
Under the bridge, anyway.
You can do your core, your back, your shoulders, your arms, your butt, like full body exercise. Get the lungs pumping, get your heart pumping, build your muscle. It's fun to do. It feels like you're kind of like in the schoolyard, just jumping rope, clowning around. The app has the Get Lean program, or the Get Strong program, or the Get Fit bundle. So the free app will help you track your progress and get in shape. It's the new year. So everyone's got their New Year's resolutions, but like going to the gym, I'm almost so afraid of being that asshole that's like, all right, it's January 3rd and I'm in the gym, that like I will explicitly not go to the gym because you look like the Johnny come lately fucking New Year's resolution guy.
Right.
So don't be that guy. Just stay at home and do cross rope, because you can do your resolutions at home without pissing off the fucking meatheads who walk around with the gallons of water while John's dad is just sipping out of the fucking water fountain. You can jump in as a beginner. You can be, get in as an expert, swap weights fast in and out, free access to the routines and the challenges on the app. Go to crossrope.com/KFC. Get $50 off the most popular jump rope fitness bundle.
It is. I bet what it costs for this is like a monthly gym membership, and you have it forever.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's crossrope.com/KFC. $50 off the most popular jump rope bundle. Just quickly. Giants fans, I absolutely hate Giants fans. They are, it's actually staggering. I can't believe it's happening. I can't believe a fan base would be so unaware of how stupid they look complaining about this. Giants fans will not shut the fuck up about the Eagles just throwing a game that doesn't fucking matter to them, which happens all the time under different circumstances, I understand, but week 17 happens all the fucking time. If you are 6-10, well, every Giants fan should say this, like, fuck the Eagles. They fucked us. They did us dirty. They threw a game. That totally ruined our chances. But goddamn, we're 6-10, so we don't have a leg to stand on. That's the only line you should be saying over and over and over again. The Giants have the same record as the Jets the last 3 years.
Really?
They are identical records. They are garbage franchises. Horrific punchline joke, butt of the joke franchises. And are acting like they're anything more than that. Are acting like they deserve, the Eagles playing hard for the mighty Giants to have a shot at the fucking playoffs. Don't lose every game in your division. Don't be fucking 6-10. Don't leave it up to them. Don't leave it up to the Eagles, who have every right to just be like, and who, by the way, said like we are gonna put in fucking Sudfield or whatever his fucking name is. They alluded to that as is. I know they did it in a very like blatant way, but they kind of said they were gonna do it. They tank for a better pick. It's in my mind, it is just a different variation of resting your starters.
If I would absolutely bitch if this was my team. I'd be like, you fucking cowards.
I don't know. I don't think you would. If you were 6-10,
I would bitch like if I was a regular person, I probably wouldn't.
Right.
But if I was working for Barstool, I wouldn't make us think about it.
Right.
But I would also acknowledge that Jalen Hurts had thrown for 74 yards and 1 interception.
Would it have been?
It's not
like you took out this electric superstar. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, he does have big play potential because he can move and stuff like that. And he did have 2 rushing touchdowns. But like what he had done as a quarterback was, I believe, 74 pass yards, 39 rush yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and an interception. You're not taking out a guy who's like, he's going to march down the field every fucking time.
And granted, the guy they put in is maybe the worst to ever play the position.
It was really stunning.
Really bad.
Because I honestly, everyone was like so upset about it when it happened on Twitter that I was like, he's going to come in and just like
light it up.
Dominate.
Yeah,
It was. He went interception first drive, fumble second drive.
It was
interception
gruesome.
again.
It looked like
drive.
it looked like he was not a quarterback.
Yeah,
it looked like he was playing like they put in a fucking special teams guy to play quarterback.
It's actually what they did is actually meaner to Nate Sudfeld than it was to Giants fans.
Yes, definitely.
Like, it was
definitely.
Like this man is clearly not prepared to be doing what you have him doing on a national stage where everyone is watching and everyone's already volatile about it. Like, just leave him on the bench. He's not ready. He's not. I don't think he's ever gonna be ready because I think he's like year 4, right?
And I think, and you know what? Now they have the answer probably though. It's like, I don't know. We're gonna go draft a fucking backup quarterback because this guy fucking sucks.
Probably had a pretty good guess. Probably had a pretty good guess before that.
And now Giants fans are so concerned with whether the Eagles locker room is gonna respect Doug Peterson anymore. You don't give a fuck about that. Yeah. You do not fucking care if Doug Peterson is what the people talking about integrity and sportsmanship and all that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Wait, I my entire football season was talking about tanking and throwing games. And nobody seemed to have a problem with that. Everybody seemed to be on board with the idea of the Jets or the Jags losing games on purpose. There was no talk about the NFL brand taking a hit when the Jets sent 6 or 7 on a fucking Hail Mary and let the Raiders win. Nobody was like, oh, the NFL will never recover from this. It was like, yeah, the fucking Jets did something idiotic to potentially lose a game on purpose because that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. The Eagles wanted to move up a few spots. They don't give a fuck about the Giants or their fans or any other team, really. And I don't think they should. I don't think any team in pro sports owes any other team, and especially another team's fan bases, anything.
What is the I can't think of the guy. I know I believe he's the New York Post guy who everyone hates.
Berman?
No, Gary Myers?
Well, yeah, but Mitch, Phil Mushnick.
I think it was Gary Myers who I think had the tweet where he was just like, remember in 2007 when Tom Coughlin pulled out every stop to beat the Patriots because he felt like he owed it to the integrity of the league. It's like, first of all, how did it work out for him?
Right, right.
Like, Tom Brady set the all-time passing touchdown record that game. Randy Moss set the all-time receiving touchdown record that game. Like, congratulations. Obviously, they went on to beat us in the Super Bowl, but in that game, it didn't fucking matter.
And also, that the difference, too, though, is like, the Eagles had nothing to play for.
Right.
Like, the Giants were like, you know.
I think his argument was like the Giants already locked up a playoff spot, so they didn't have anything to play for either. But it's like they still had their starters in there because they still wanted to win that game for the integrity. They owed it to the integrity.
But that's a very big that there is a difference in being like, we are going to the playoffs. This is another playoff team. I want to go balls to the wall against good competition to get ready. Blah blah blah.
Right.
The Eagles have none of that, and they don't give a fuck if the Giants make it or the Redskins make it. And they want to get They want to get a look at this guy, or they want to rest. They don't want this guy. If they have just said we don't want Jalen Hurts to get injured. That's it.
Okay.
Done. That's all they should have said. And it would have been like, well, then what? So when you are the Steelers who have clinched, what's best for them is to rest their starters, and that totally fucks over the Browns made it, and whoever was on the outside looking in. Dolphins. So are the Dolphins fucking crying their eyes out? No. And I understand this is a different circumstances, but it's the same kind of idea where it's like, well, we either wanted to rest a guy.
Well, so the Dolphins were winning getting in. The Dolphins did control their own destiny. So I know the
but
Dolphins
somebody
aren't
was on
in
the
at 10
outside.
and 6.
Yeah. So somebody gets fucked, and the Browns get to walk in because Big Ben didn't even take a snap because they decided to throw the game last fucking week.
Right.
But nobody says anything about that because that's some accepted form of throwing the game. You're allowed to throw those games. But this form of throwing the game, which equally means nothing, just on the other side of the spectrum, is apparently going to ruin the integrity of the league. Nobody will think about this in... Giants fans will, but not a single person will care about this in 2 more hours.
It's crazy too, the 6 and 10. You're 6 and 10.
6 and 10.
You shouldn't be.
You're gonna go get your
missed the playoffs.
dicks
The only
kicked
time
in.
the Patriots missed the playoffs during their fucking run, they were
11
11 and 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you're 10 and 6 and you don't make it, it sucks. When you're 11 and 5 and you don't make it, that's fucking
11 and 5 is
insanity.
crazy town.
Insanity, man. Okay, finally, let's get to it. Voicemails. They're brought to you by Simply Safe. Everybody got a lot of nice gifts over the holidays. You got a lot of nice belongings now that you got to take care of. You got your loved ones you got to worry about. You've got to make sure that you're the man or the woman of the house, making sure all of it is protected. And how do you do that? I don't know. Leave it to the experts. Leave it to Simply Safe. You don't have to have. Do you remember Viper? The protected by Viper. Stand back.
Yes.
So the commercial for that when I was a kid was a car alarm. And the commercial had a hologram Viper that scared away the burglars. And I was 6 at the time, and I thought that was the alarm. I thought it had a car that projected a fucking snake that would scare away burglars. I can't steal that car. There's a Viper in it.
Probably works.
I wouldn't steal a fucking car with a snake. Maybe either go to Simply Safe or just load your house up with snakes. Could you imagine if you were a burglar and you kick down the door and you're like, "There's 1,000 snakes in here"? I'd be gone in a fucking quick.
Yeah,
fucking not dealing with that. So that's
I don't care about the snakes. I care about the snake owner itself. I'm like, all right,
maybe we start a company called Simply Snakes. SimplySnakes.com. You don't 24/7 protection with just thousands of snakes crawling around your house.
You'll definitely die from them. but no one else is gonna rob
But
your house.
you will not be. You will be dead, but you will not be
Better to
robbed.
get shot with your own gun than someone else's.
No, Simply Safe is not an arsenal of snakes. It's an arsenal of cameras and sensors that get sent to your house. You can set it up in just 30 minutes. Nobody else has to be in your house. And then from there, Simply Safe professionals take over, monitoring your home 24/7. They have they're ready to send help at a moment's need, whether it's from burglary or fire or flooding or earthquakes or whatever else could harm you, your loved ones, or your belongings. No long-term contracts, no hidden fees, no installation costs. They have sensors and cameras that protect every inch of your home. And right now, you can get a free home security camera when you purchase a Simply Safe system at simplysafe.com/KFC Radio. Also, a little bonus. I feel like you can go viral with these things. How many times do you see like a little like doorbell footage or a little like security footage? Somebody like slips on the ice or whatever the fuck happens, and then you post it and you go viral. So there's a little bonus for you. You get a free camera, and you'll maybe be you'll get that internet cloud up when you go to Simply Safe, SIMPLI safe.com/KFC Radio. Get the free camera and a 60-day risk-free trial, so there's nothing to lose. That's simplysafe.com/KFC Radio. All right, we're about to get into our voicemails here on KFC Radio, but if you're looking for more content from me, head over to the Kevin Clancy channel. New episodes out every Wednesday.
Got a quick question for you. Not sure how it came to mind, but considering the fact that girls don't need to orgasm to have children, but the men do. If women had to orgasm too, also, like both sides had the orgasm to have a kid, how much of a fluctuation, how different do you think the population would be if
that's a
women
question.
had to get off as well
I
as
swear
men
to God,
while having sex to have a
if it had to be like from the dick, like the sex, you had to come. The girl has to come from penetration with the penis. I think the world population would be cut in like less than half. I think it'd be like a quarter of the people running around.
I think you're probably.
It's so hard to make chicks come with your dick, dude. I do not think it's hard to make chicks come in general. I think if with my fingers in my mouth, I think it's pretty fucking easy. I just rub it a bunch. But with your dick, it's super hard. And if that was the requirement, if you had to have a love baby of orgasms, could you imagine that? When people are like, we're trying. That's always a funny phrase. The "we" is funny, and then the "we're trying." It's like, oh, so you're fucking, huh?
He comes inside me now.
Right? Yeah, he leaves it in. He just dumps it in.
Like as we speak, there's cum dripping out of me. Like, all right, I don't need to hear that.
When the girls kind of go like hold their breath, like they're just gonna hold the cum in. It's like, no, it's just a hole, and it's just dripping out of it. But when you say you're trying, that means you're just like laying on your back getting stuffed, right? But if you had to make somebody come, it's like, I'm trying, like you'd imagine if you had to get good at sex to procreate.
I honestly think that's the way it works. Like, I'm not sure. I don't believe that it's easier to get pregnant if you both have orgasms.
You think if she does come that she's gonna get pregnant? Is that what you're saying?
I think
It helps.
This is straight from my medical degree.
Oh.
I think that the fallopian tubes open more with an orgasm, and therefore it's easier to get pregnant.
Don't hate that.
I think the fallopian tubes is where the cum goes.
It just, yeah.
Yeah?
Something, well, I don't know if it's the egg that goes through the fallopian tubes or the cum that goes through the fallopian tubes, but the fallopes are an important part.
Yeah. They're the highway of the baby express system. And I think that there's less traffic when you've been coming.
Yeah. No, more traffic.
No, less traffic.
You're saying you'd have more babies if they came more. So it'd be like more traffic, like more cum would be getting in.
Okay.
Chance,
Yeah, I meant less things are impeding their travel.
Yeah, so the open road when you're coming.
Yeah,
it makes sense. You come and just like open up.
Everything relaxes.
Yeah,
like, okay.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty scientific answer for me.
I think that there should be. It should almost be like in a video game where you like if you hit the right combination of buttons and the right things happen. Like I feel like if you come at the same time from sex, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, this is going to result in a human. It's too much. I can't believe you're both coming at the same time
and
from penetration.
Also, her eyes roll into the back of her head, and then she has like a roulette thing going. Not roulette.
Slot machine.
Slot machine. That's I don't know. If you ask me, that's how pregnancy works. I've never seen someone get pregnant, but if I had to take a guess, that's what happens.
Dude, I never, famous fucking one hitter here. Like, but when people are trying and they're doing like the apps and the timing and they lay upside down and like, it's so unbelievably graphic. Like you said, it's like, my husband comes in me all the time, and I lay upside down so that cum really sticks. We do it in this position so that cum gets really deep inside me.
And then he fucking glues me up so it can't fall out.
Like a fucking apartment in Wuhan during the pandemic. We're going to seal you in until this shit's over.
Once my husband comes in me, he gets a staple gun out and just fucking hammers this labia together.
It's an unbelievable.
It's
like you talk to your parents.
Gross.
You talk to your parents about it. Like we're trying. Or like it's like I fucking hit it from the back and leave it in now. You know what? I'm not pulling out and coming on her tits anymore. Like, that's what we're talking about here. It's fucking crazy. But I do think. I think it's super hard to make. Chicks come with dicks.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's that hard.
I think it depends on like if you
or they're just very good fakers.
I think when you fuck a girl who knows how to get herself off and you have consistent sex, it's a group effort. But like I think she's still kind of doing more of the work.
Yeah, it's like I'll handle this.
Like I
you lay there. I'm gonna be you fucking meat puppet.
Right. Like and I can like change up the speed and maybe the angle and a couple positions, but I always say this: God putting a dick in the middle of your hips for you to maneuver and use is so hard.
It's literally the one spot you're told
you can't,
as
like a baseball hitter or playing defense. Like always look at their hips.
Watch his hips. Can't lie with his hips.
Yes. Hips don't lie, man.
And
with your fingers, your mouth, your hands, your arms, like everything else is like I'll just fucking beat this thing until it's fucking done.
I'd be coming down on you like fucking Dion, be like, boop, 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 boop. But guess what? Hasn't
like
moved one
bag.
fucking inch. Right here.
That's what I mean.
A whole hullabaloo.
And that just stayed perfectly still. It's crazy. So all you can do is, that's right. I'm not doing it wrong. Am I? It's kind of up to them.
Well, this is basically just reverting back to nipple talk. I think you're doing great.
I will make you come 1,000 times with the rest of my body, but with my dick, all bets are off. All bets are off. You will walk away with your legs wobbling, just not from a penis. Next up.
Yo, KFC Fights and Nick, I guess you're producing the show now. So I'm in a bit of a predicament and I need y'all's help here. So there's this girl and she's really into me. And it's wild because she's into all the stuff that I'm into, like football, cars, the whole nine. And she's also, her family is like really rich. So that's something else. But the problem is I just don't find her attractive. I don't know what to do. She wants to get with me. She's trying to hook up with me, and I just don't know about the whole thing. I just don't find her attractive. But all the right signs is like yes. But when I just look at her, it's just like a no.
All of the right signs are not saying yes.
What
the most important sign?
What does this even mean?
You know what you just described? A friend. like if I'm like, you know what? Like John likes to watch football with me. We always agree on the podcast. We do this podcast together. We like the same movies. We like to eat at the same places and drink. It's just I don't want to fuck him. I don't find him attractive. So should I date him? Date him? No.
I think that is part of the plight of the man. I think sometimes if you're like, look, we get along, like I guess I should date her. Like a girl would just not date someone she's not attracted to.
No.
Now, granted, girls are attracted to people who look like me and you, but that's their
girls
own
are crazy.
problem.
That's
not like they're not dating someone who they're not attracted to. They're just attracted to ugly people.
Right. Their version of attraction doesn't involve looks.
Right.
Idiots.
But like,
It's crazy. Girls will fuck fat people. They'll fuck ugly people. It's nuts.
And it's like you just be like they would never just like, well, I don't know, he likes to watch movies with me, and
so I
just find him repulsive.
So yeah, I'll let him come at me, but, because we both like Fast and the Furious. But also, isn't that, well, I guess maybe this is kind of a different version of like the plight of man though, where it's like, yeah, it's like it feels so rare when you find a girl who's just like cool and likes to do the things you do, that you're like, I guess I will go against the very fiber of my being, which is rejecting her sexually. I will deny this is so hard to find.
Decades of DNA and science.
Right.
And I'll be like, I'm not doing it. Or I'll be like, I am doing it. Yeah, I am doing it.
I mean, to me, I think that's more of a plight of man and maybe an indictment of some chicks where it's like, it feels so special that you share common interests with someone of the opposite sex that you will maybe stoop as low as being with someone who's ugly.
He's just straight. Like, but I just do not find her visually appealing.
And that sounds shallow, but it's like really not. It's just like the most basic form of attraction is whether or not you find it like visually pleasing, and then from there you build everything else.
Right, we can work from there.
And when I actually do,
and it's like should be the same way with me too.
For sure.
If you're not you don't find me visually appealing, you shouldn't fucking try and be with me.
Do you think that there's like a little bit of truth to like the Shallow Hal movie? Like if you fall in love with someone and you like start to find the rest of them is really great, that like they actually become a little more like physically appealing to you?
Probably.
I bet that happens on some level where it's like,
sure.
Like you're all right, you're like you're kind of cute, you're kind of hot, and then like you find out they're great, and it's like I want to jump your bones.
Yeah, as someone who owns a mirror, there are definitely flaws that are overlooked. Because we like the same movies, but
and how far that bar has fallen, where it's like, well, we both have Hulu, so let's be monogamous.
No,
it's so fucked up.
She has Hulu. I have Netflix.
And then that's
with the power of our rings combined.
Wind, rain, heart. Wow, that's what marriage is. You have Netflix, I have Hulu. Let's throw our rings together like Captain Planet. Man. Unbelievable. Next up.
I mean, straight up, this one's just kind of mean.
Towards us? Is this going to be mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Specific to
Hey guys, so I just saw this TikTok trend that was, what's the most concerning thing about your body that you haven't gotten fixed yet? And the first thing that popped into my mind was that Fights has like 97 things that are extremely concerning that are wrong with his body that he hasn't gotten fixed yet. So curious as to what your guys' are. Thanks.
John, put your phone down for a second.
I don't understand.
John, put your phone down. Just look at me. We have to have a talk. Why was your hand so pink?
Oh God, I don't know. Well, I don't know what that was.
You medium rare pink. I mean, the coloration of John posted a picture on the internet where he was like holding something.
He's holding Baby Yoda. And wearing underpants. It's crazy.
And did the classic like the point of the picture was Baby Yoda, and guess what? Nobody gave a fuck about because your pink fucking sock of a hand, your pink sock, was just out for the world to see.
The thing is, though, it wasn't that color. Like as soon as that picture was posted,
it was, and you're like, no, it's white.
It was very immediate. Yeah.
Well, that's what people need to realize about the fucking like pictures on the internet. Is like, I was just telling Nick this. I was like filming a video before. I was like, I looked normal. Like press record, finish the video, pull it up, hair looks terrible. I was like, no, it didn't. It didn't until I recorded it, and then it did. It was just that's how the internet works.
Your
hand was white, then it became pink.
I tweeted it. You tweet, and then you immediately go look at your notifications.
Yep.
And sometimes you got a few likes, a few retweets, whatever. I already had 8 responses.
And you're like, oh, no.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I went back to look at the picture. I was like, wait. And I looked at my hand, and I was like, I think Casey and my girlfriend were over, and I was like, my hand just isn't that color.
Right.
And they were like, you're right, it isn't.
But on that picture, it is. I mean, that looked like you had a pink glove on.
Yeah.
that was jarring. And
actually, you know what's crazy too? I had looked at the picture.
And thought it was okay.
And I actually see my feet in the picture.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, my feet actually don't look so bad.
Right, I saw that too.
Yep, all right, we'll post it.
Oh my God. No, wait, that's not real.
That's real.
That's real?
That's the picture?
No, it's not. That TV.
That's with no filter. You
Look,
haven't put
it's
a
your
filter?
tweet.
Okay, I mean that's.
But like that, you know what that is? That's the Game of Thrones. We need to adjust this, the contrast on the screen. I mean, that looks legitimately like a doesn't. I don't know. I can't even.
It's
tell you
pinker than his fucking ears.
It looks like Patrick the Starfish, right?
That's what I noticed. I was like, and the ears are like, they're meant to pop. And then your hand's bigger.
Dude, that looks like that looks like you fucking put like a tourniquet on and like trying to get all the blood.
That's what Coley said. Coley's like, that fucking t-shirt's those phalanges haven't seen any blood flow in years.
It's such a shame that like this is why we just shouldn't post things on the internet, because it's just like, I don't know, I just wanted to post the fucking Baby Yoda, and now and credit to me, I didn't say anything. I wanted to, and I was like, oh, he's getting it enough. He's getting it enough. I mean, that got 1.8 thousand likes and 22 retweets and 8 quote tweets and probably like 100 replies of just being like, "You're gross. Your hand's gross." I mean, your hand looks like it's straight out of Chernobyl.
It is.
It looks like
bad. It looks like
your hand looks like it had about 1,000 Röntgen.
I was gonna say I look like Alexi when it's like the skin is just peeled off, and it's just like I look like the fucking picture they hang in a science class where it's like, here's what the veins
radioactive.
Are. And it's just all like the meat of a body without the skin on it. So this is what your body looks like inside. And like, well, that's what I look like outside, I guess.
Oh, that reminds me. Snowpiercer on TNT. It's on HBO Max. It's a pretty legit show. Have you ever seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie. I heard good things about the movie.
Yeah. It's got David Diggs in it. He's like the main character. Yeah. He's awesome.
David Diggs, he's in Hamilton, right?
Yeah, he's Thomas Jefferson. Yeah. There's.
Have I told you, by the way, the woman who lives above me was in Hamilton?
What?
And I just blast Hamilton trying to get her to come downstairs, and she doesn't.
Was she?
She was the she was Angelica understudy.
That's still, I mean, that's second rate to like the it's like you're the backup to a star.
Yeah, it's very.
That's pretty low.
I'm like, well, you just.
She probably hates you. Yeah. She's probably like, I fucking hate this guy who plays Hamilton all day.
She follows. She went when we met her in the hallway, because my apartment is just like every floor is just one apartment, so it's like we met her in the hallway, and she's like, "You guys got to follow me on Instagram," and I followed her, and she had a blue check mark because she's in Hamilton, and then she followed only my girlfriend back. Did not follow me back.
She probably was like, I am not going to follow that medium rare bitch. That is low, though. That's low.
Like you told me to follow you.
That's fucking.
I followed
that's
you.
Just poor manners.
And it's just like you followed her back? What the hell is that all about?
Poor manners. Yeah.
Why did that come up? Why did I just do that? Oh, because we talked about Hamilton and David Diggs.
There's a scene in Snowpiercer on TV that was on TNT. I'm watching it on HBO Max, but it's on like a regular cable channel where it was like one of the most aggressive things I've ever seen on television. Part of what they do. So do you know like the premise of it at all?
Not really.
It's post-apocalyptic world. The only place you can the temperature outside is like negative 200 degrees. So they're on a train that just rolls around the world.
Okay.
And when the train was first leaving, all the rich people had tickets, and like poor people like stormed the train and were like, we're gonna survive too. So the train is like a first class, second class, third class, and then like the poor people.
Yeah.
And the poor people, they try to like, there's like insurrections, they try to like throw rebellions, and then like punishment is they open up a little portal and they put your arm out into the cold, and it freezes, and then they smash it with a hammer.
Jeez.
And they show it. Like they almost do it to a child. And I was like, are they gonna fucking like chop this arm off of a kid? And then a parent steps in, and you watch it freeze, and then they bring it back in, and they like gently tap it with a hammer, and they smash it with a fucking sledgehammer, and it's icy, but it's meaty. It's pink like your hand, and they fucking show it. And I was like, this is, I mean, I kind of just watched. I watched a lot of TV over the break, and I was just like, all right, I'll give this a shot. And I was like, I've never seen a scene like this. I was like, whoa. I was like gripping my seat, like, and it's just regular as fucking TNT. Wild. I also watched the best shows ever. The Netflix series Manhunt. Worst acting of all time, but like great topics. Do you know the Olympic bombing story is not told enough?
I mean, they just made like a big movie about it.
Yeah. But it like, even that I think it kind of like flopped. So like not enough people like watched it and really gave it enough credit.
It got really good reviews, but just no one saw it.
I think people are just over Clint Eastwood. I think people were mad that they overly sexualized Olivia Wilde's character. But whatever. This series I watched, like I think that chick just was like a hoe. So.
Oh really?
I mean, the part of the story is that journalist like used to fuck cops for like information.
Okay.
So, but like the pinning of the bombing on an innocent man, and then the guy who did do it hid in the woods for 5 years.
What?
The FBI. The bombing was in '96. He bombed a abortion clinic and a gay club in like '97 and '98. To try to make it look like it was a religious thing when he was just like an agent of chaos. He he wanted to kill cops. So then he hid in the mountains of Nantahala, which is down in like North Carolina. And he got caught in 2003. He hid out. The FBI surrounded the entire like mountainside and they just waited for 5 years.
What?
And he was that good. He like lived on the run till 2003. Like that is... We should know that story.
Yeah, that's
We
crazy.
should know that this guy bombed the Olympics and then went on the run and he had the locals on his side because they thought it was religious, and then the militia helped him, and then the militia learned that he was responsible for the Olympic bombing, so the militia and the feds worked together, and it's like this awesome story in American history that like we
Is
just don't know.
that show like is that one episode?
No, it's 10 episodes. It's like a series.
Okay, so Manhunt. I've seen Manhunt Unabomber.
So that's I'm like in the middle of, or like a couple episodes into that one, which is it seems to be better acting.
Unabomber's pretty good.
Yeah, this is like bad acting, really bad acting.
Yeah,
but the topic is just
dude. The Unabomber one is the same thing. Like where it's like I was like I didn't know this.
So
with
I
like
think
that
Netflix
we just
is
created
picking,
Ted Kaczynski,
right?
Like,
Who, by the way, Ted Kaczynski is pretty awesome. if he wasn't a domestic terrorist, he's like literally the smartest person to like ever live. His like IQ's off the fucking charts, and like if he used his powers for good, he would have been like the coolest, most badass dude ever. He's like. If you ever want to root for the bad guy, Unabomber's pretty good.
But you like once you get to I think it's like episode 8 or 9 when they describe how we just created him.
Yeah.
He was part of a psychological experiment as a 15-year-old or 16-year-old at Harvard, where he was just relentlessly and mercilessly mocked by the peers he looked up to more so than anybody in the world. And like it was like a psychological evaluation to see if like Russian terrorists or whatever. And it's like, well, guess what?
Here we go.
You just
got
triggered
it. You got it.
You gave him a stressor. You snapped. Guess what you get now?
I don't know if this is like a real story or not, but there's one episode where he like, because he had his whole thing against technology or whatever,
right.
and he like the story he told in that series at least was that he heard a mockingbird singing the tune of a car alarm, doing like the and he was like, this is something that's supposed to be so like pure and natural that we've like ruined with technology. And I was like, I don't know, you're making a lot of good points. Like, we really became a fucking like disgusting world of robots. So, but I think Netflix figured out like the same way they make bad movies that like hit the algorithm. I think they figured out like series too, where it's like.
But Manhunt Unabomber came out like 4 years ago. I didn't know they were still doing that. I thought that was just a one-off or something like that.
Well, I think
it's from Discovery,
so this is the
right?
second one now. So
is the second one kind of what Netflix does, where they just bought it?
I think so.
Like because Manhunt Unabomber
and they
was
just
on
slapped a
Discovery.
name on it. Yeah. So I think they're just like, this is like bad actors, not like high quality. But
Manhunt
like
Unabomber,
good
they're all good
topics.
actors. Manhunt Unabomber is like.
Well, it was it. I mean, I'm only a couple episodes in, so I didn't really.
It's like they're. I don't know all of them, but like. Ted Kaczynski is famous.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, the Water guy, is he's also famous. Like they're not like they're
good,
not Oscar nominated,
right. But they're like professionals
actors.
at least. I just think that if they when they like slapped the Netflix name on it now, they used to do that with
like
movies,
Sam Worthington.
No.
Sam Worthington, he's a dude in Avatar. He's like Avatar, Clash of the Titans, Terminator.
Right, I know Clash of the Titans. Yeah.
Fractured. Like
they're like real actors at least.
Yeah,
the other ones are
Hacksaw Ridge.
But I would watch.
He's also already getting credit for Avatar 4.
Fuck Avatar. All right, one more voicemail. It's brought to you by Miller Lite.
Oh, he's in Everest. Everest was great.
Anytime you're going to sit down, you're going to watch a Netflix special, you're going to watch a Netflix series, you're going to watch a bad movie, a good movie, a guilty pleasure. Nothing.
Oh, yeah, Paul Bettany's Ted Kaczynski.
Who's that?
Paul Bettany is in like A Knight's Tale. With what?
That was just like That's the perfect Feitelberg. You'd be like, he's a legit actor. He's in A Knight's
Well,
Tale.
he's also he's A Beautiful Mind. He's the invisible guy in A Beautiful Mind.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Da Vinci Code.
He's
fucking what's his dick too in Avengers?
Vision.
Vision, yeah.
I don't think I realized that. I think they did a decent enough job of like making him look different, whatever. Yeah, he's the real deal. So whether you're watching Avengers, Netflix, whatever it is, you open up a cold Miller Lite, and it makes any entertainment that much better. You're listening to the podcast, open up a cold Miller Lite. You're watching TV, Miller Lite. Because you know what? Miller Lite just makes you enjoy life. It's the best beer out there. And if 2020 stunk, 2021 is here. Ring it in with some New Year's resolutions to be more social, be more engaged, be a better friend, be a better family member, and hit those goals and make it to the weekend with a nice cold Miller Lite. 96 calories, only 3.2 grams of carbs, leaving plenty of room for you to enjoy Miller Lite and everything else in your life. Right now, go to MillerLite.com/KFC to find the delivery options near you. If you can't get out there, you can't go to the bars, you got to stay social distance, you want to just stay in your house, you can have Miller Lite delivered right to your doorstep. Right from the Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 12 ounces, 96 calories, 3.2 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of protein.
Yeah.
Nice and do. Get a little protein in it. Celebrate responsibly with a Miller Lite. Last one. Let's go.
Hey, KFC Fights. I just had to change the locks on my house for, you can probably guess the reason. But made me come up with a question. If you had one key to unlock every lock in the world, what's the first lock that you'd open up? Viva.
I guess you had a crazy girl?
Yeah.
Under the context of this show, that was where I went with it.
Right. Also, by the way, before we get into this one, what was the last voicemail?
Oh, yeah. What would you change about your body?
I know. Literally all of it.
Yeah. I would definitely, I'd go jawline first.
How about this? What would you change about my body, and what would I change about your body?
What would I change about your body?
Uh-huh. I would change my literal body. Like, I don't have a body part. I need, like, the whole fucking thing from the neck down to be different. And I don't need it to be aesthetic. It can look exactly the same way. I just need it to function. You could make
What does that even mean?
Like,
I'm only going aesthetics.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying I need it, it's broken. My whole body is broken.
I always just think of that picture of you that YP took in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You're in like the Patriots pants.
Yeah.
And that's what he was trying to focus on.
Yeah.
Like, look who Kevin's wearing. And there's just like, you had love handles like way out. Like,
yeah.
I'd probably shave those off for you.
I would have to change that schnoz.
Fix my nose?
but you like your nose, right?
I don't like it. I don't dislike. I'm not like.
What do you call it? A Roman nose or something like that?
Caesar. I think.
Caesar.
Someone told me that one time. Someone on the same boat who told me that also told me it was Sean Penn. Those are the two I've stuck with.
Sean Penn. It is a
It's a Sean Penn nose.
Yeah, it does look like Sean Penn. It's just that Sean Penn's nose is attached to Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Your nose is attached to Feitelberg.
I wouldn't be like, no, you can't touch my nose. I don't have a real connection to it, but I also don't have an aversion to it either. Just like, whatever.
That's the beauty of being a guy. It's like, it doesn't really matter. You know? Girls, it's like, this one thing will ruin my life. And guys, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I got a big nose, but I got a successful podcast, so whatever. Dude, by the way, I've been watching like Criminal Minds a lot, I mentioned, and it is so weird seeing them like come into. Cause I gave up. No, I didn't give up on it. It's just like, you play for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna kind of stop paying attention to all that much.
Yeah.
But like I'm with a more current. It ended this year, so it was on. It went on about a 20-year run.
Shit.
And I'm with. I think I'm in like 2017, and like they're like investigating a killer, and they're trying to get her
using a podcast or something like that.
She's like, I'm only talking if it's on my podcast. And they're like truthers, and she's like talking about, I don't know, some big government conspiracy bullshit. And she's like, see, it actually does. It is kind of interesting when like an FBI agent is just like, it's like, no, what you're doing just doesn't work. Because every time I say something happened, you're gonna go, well, no.
But that's
like, well, like,
right.
No, it's bullshit. Like,
right.
Well, like that, yes, then you can have a conspiracy theory because every time I give you the answer to your question, you go, that's not true. And it's like, but you just have to accept that, like, life. I think it was actually pretty interesting what they said, like, with the JFK stuff, or like JFK couldn't have been killed by some random dude because, like, huge moments have to have huge causes. And it's like, it just doesn't, that's not the way the world works. And I was like, that's actually a pretty good point.
But that's their reason for the conspiracy. Like there has to be a huge cause.
Yeah,
and it's
no. It's not like their
sometimes
reason,
it's just like chaos. Sometimes it's
how
just
the human
like
brain works.
Yeah.
Something monumental has happened. It must have had a monumental cause.
Right.
No, some crazy person just shot a guy.
Right.
That guy happened to be president.
Right. Right.
It is. I was like,
totally.
all right, that's actually pretty.
That's like the.
But all this was happening on her podcast.
The Olympic bomber was just like. At one point, they're like, there are some people who are motivated by religion. There are some people who do this because of like spite. And he's like, this guy just does it because he likes to do it.
Right.
He just blew people up because he could.
Because he
It was
wanted
a game. I just thought the Richard Jewell, who's the guy, like the main guy, he was the BTK in Mindhunter.
Richard Jewell's BTK.
But
you never really see BTK in Mindhunter.
No, not that. Who's the one who's like 6'10"?
Oh, Ed Kemper.
Yeah. So I guess that's the same guy.
Okay.
So I guess there's some
Ed
legit
Kemper's
actors.
legit, yeah.
If you had a key that opened every lock in the world, what would the first lock you would open? I mean, I guess like a bank vault.
I was gonna say Keith's filing cabinet by his desk.
What's in there? What does he keep locked in there?
He's just the only person who locks it in a file cabinet. I gotta see what's in it.
What does he keep in there?
And I mean, like, I've seen it, but there's nothing in it. It's just the fact that he locks it. Because he just opens it, I can see. And it's just the fact that he locks it makes me want the ability to unlock it whenever I want to.
Isn't that like philosophical for you?
Yeah.
You tell me what not to do.
We're across the street from a Chase Bank. Not interested.
I don't want it. You know what I do want to do?
Where's Keith keep his gum?
I do want to. I would go to like what are they? The Swiss safety deposit bank place account box. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Isn't that where they like fucking keep Nazi secrets and American secrets because like Switzerland is neutral.
Yeah, but like it's also weird because I guess it's just they can't be subpoenaed. Because like in America, they don't check what you put in your safety deposit box. It's not like they have to know what you put in it.
But I think if like push came to shove in like an investigation, they could. Yeah. But not in Switzerland. But if I had that key, and that would be the thing. They'd be like, "You're not the owner," but it's like, "But I have like, you know what I mean? Like, turn the key. It works. You have to fucking have to do it." All right, that's it for us. So you can do two things here. You can head over to leave a review on the KFC Radio page? Okay. All right, that's it for us. So do us a favor, as we mentioned earlier, go over to the KFC Radio iTunes account and leave us a rating and a review. And you can also leave us an answer for what you would open. What key would you use and what would you open in this world? Also head over to YouTube if you're watching on KFC Radio and you want to watch our episodes, leave a comment below. What key would you use to open, and we'll chop it up with you and leave some comments as well. So get engaged, get involved, leave a review, leave a comment, and we'll see you guys next week. If you made it this far, you watched the whole episode. You have to.
I've never watched the full episode. If you watched the full episode,
I've never watched like 10 minutes of an episode.
You really, really like us.
Or you hate us, but like have a fetish to watch us. And for whatever the reason is, you've made it this far, you're going to want to watch more.
You should want to watch more.
And you actually owe it to us to click the subscribe button. If you have watched that much time, you now owe us in the form of clicking the subscribe button.
That's internet currency.
And hitting the bell icon.
Yes.
I don't even know what the bell icon is, but they tell me
I think it sets a reminder for you. And also leave comments for what your favorite voicemail was. All kinds of that fun stuff. But you owe it to us to do it. Law. Internet law.
law.